Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edward Joseph, and let's talk live. A conversation with Lady T-Bug and friends. All right, let's talk. Well, today, peoples, has been such an interesting day. I am here, I am live, and I am going to talk about some things, peoples. Peoples, a conversation with Lady T-Bug and friends. You guys come on in. You guys come on in. You guys come on in, for there's so much to talk about, peoples. You guys come on in. Peoples, I am here and I am back. And I am back to bring you a beautiful live that was done on tonight. Peoples, I tell you, when I have literally connected with some people who literally got some good, wholesome conversation, I'm telling you, oh my God. I mean, it was just absolutely wonderful. And this was just like a match made in heaven. I had stumbled upon this channel on tonight, and it was an fantastic stumble because I tell you, the people who I connected with on tonight, oh man, I mean, these people are outstanding. And people's, you guys are going to have a treat when I show you this particular live on tonight. Now, as you know, that I have changed things a little bit, and I have literally got up on this particular case, and it was called the P. Diddy case. And I have literally talked about this today. Something brand new, something different, something brand new, something different. And I said, well, okay, so I'm going to talk about a different case and stuff, and I'm going to come and I'm going to shoot my shot. I'm going to do something a little different, something that I haven't did, you know, in a while. And so I decided that I wanted to talk about the P. Diddy case upon tonight. And I'm glad that I did because, I mean, when I literally got on this case, peoples, a lot of people came to the channel. A lot of people was watching and things. A lot of people was interested, but not a lot of people came onto the panel. And not a lot of people really wanted to speak in things about this case. And I was just taken back because I'm kind of like, okay, so, why isn't nobody want to sit and talk about the case? I'm talking about something new. I'm talking about something different. That's what everybody wanted and stuff, but I couldn't get nobody to come on and talk about the case. So I said, okay. So I was a little frustrated and things, and said a few little things and whatnot, but it was okay because at the end of the day, the people came in and the people supported. And so when the live was over with, people's, I went and I wasn't satisfied and stuff. And so I said, well, I'm going to go and I'm going to continue to keep looking to see who is talking about this case today because, the regular YouTubers that I normally would have saw and things, nobody was on the case today. And I was really surprised. Maybe they got very upset behind what was going on and things, but it was okay with me because, I mean, at the end of the day, it really didn't matter to me one way or the other, whether they was talking about it or not, because, I mean, I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, I told you all that Diddy was going to get 5 years, but the judge had ended up getting him less than 5 years, which around the thing that I had stated and stuff, because I looked at the evidence that was presented and I said, it ain't no way that they're going to give this man no 10, 15, or even 20 years, not for no first offense. There's no way. And see, the thing is, they couldn't even prove racketeering. They couldn't even prove the major charges. And so what? They're going to try to make it up on some little charges that they had given him and things. And I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. I said, this doesn't make no sense. So I didn't listen to all of these YouTubers because, Ticket TV And Tisha tells, oh man, they were just going off. Yeah, Diddy's going to get all of these different years and this and that. And Ticket was just going off on everybody and, cursing at everybody and getting mad at everybody and blocking everybody because nobody really believed in what he said. And I certainly didn't believe it, but I didn't chime out on his channel. I just sat back and I just watched and I'm like, these are some fools. These are people who really wanted to stick it to Diddy. That's what they did. They really wanted to stick it to him, but they couldn't. They couldn't because of the simple fact that the Mann Act, what, they're going to give Diddy all of that time? Yeah, right. It wasn't going to happen. And I kept saying it wasn't going to happen. But again, nobody wanted to listen to Edward Joseph. So I said, okay, well, I'm still going to stand 10 toes down with what I believe because I didn't believe that they were going to go that far. And even all of what the judge had saw and what they presented, I still said that they're not giving this man no more than 5 years. And so you had these famous YouTubers and stuff. Everybody's talking, everybody's shooting their shot, everybody's in their feelings and all like this and stuff. And I was like, okay, watch what I say, peoples. Watch what I say. And when it happens, then everybody's going to be shocked. And guess what, peoples? It happened. The judge gave Diddy less than 5 years. And then with the time that he has already served, he's going to serve less time than that. And there you have it. And so it will amount to about 3 years and something. And there you have it, peoples. There you have it. And so I was scrolling because I wasn't satisfied. I wanted to have a conversation with somebody because my people didn't want to come on. So I said, okay, well, I will be on tonight and I will be talking. And so I came across this channel and it was called LadyTeaBug, Celebrity Gossip, Chit Chat, True Crime, and Book Club. And I tell you, people, this is one of the most wonderful channels that I have ever been on. And I mean, we literally had a ball on tonight. And so I got permission to play back her live, people. So I want you guys to sit back and relax. And I want you guys to listen to the live that I was on tonight, talking about Deshaun Diddy Combs. Now, bear in mind that I came on a little later on within within her live, but I came on and I literally rocked the house. You know how I do it, people. And so now, I made some new friends. And, this is good because they like to talk about different cases and things. And, hey, I'm all up for that. And so I'll be back when they're live, and I'll be back to talk. And when she goes live from here, I'm going to stream it live on my channel. And we're going to have a nice, good, wholesome conversation like we did on tonight. And this is what I have been envisioning for quite some time. And I thank God that he had directed me to a channel that really doesn't have a problem in speaking. Do you understand what I'm saying, people? And so I want you guys to sit back. I want you guys to relax. I want you guys to get yourself some Ethiopian coffee. And I want you guys to enjoy. Peoples, let me introduce to Edward Joseph. Let's talk live. A conversation with LadyTeaBug and friends. Let's go. LadyTeaBug.
Messy gossip flows like tea, high fresh each week. last summer. With a style and charm, she's a stunner. Flipping through gloss like the latest craze. Trying them to cook, oh how they dazzle they We keep it real, spilling the truth. In our circle of acquaintances, always from lipstick shades. So that's free, sharing the vibe, feel the edges that they crease. Page by page, return our worlds. Sit still and strong, and life unfurled.
Hey y'all, hey. It's flipping Friday. And baby, they flipping sentences today, okay? We gonna talk about Diddy, and then we can open up and just have like an open discussion, talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. But y'all know I had to pop up on the front porch. So we can talk about Diddy. We gonna keep it light, fun. Y'all know how we do it. We gonna crack some jokes. We probably gonna have a little serious moment. But y'all know how we do it on the front porch. We don't get mad at each other. We are open, to everyone's opinion. But y'all know LadyTeaBug is a girl's girl, okay? I rep for the ladies all day, every day. And so my opinion gonna be, based on being a woman, okay? Being a lady, and from a woman's perspective, of course, of course. Hey, Ebony, at work. All right. Chanel, good morning to you, darling. She says she is still woke, trying to be nosy, so I always have to give a separate good morning to Chanel because she is in a different, region. I'll just put it like that. Hey, everybody coming on in. Y'all want me to drop the link? I could drop the link too. Y'all just let me know. Y'all let me know. We kind of open here today. I do have a few subject matters when it comes to Diddy sentencing that I want to cover, but it's not, giving what it normally give with us over here with 2-3 hour lives, okay? But I do have I want to add my 2 cents, put a stamp on it from the front porch, of course. And I want to hear y'all opinion as well in the chat. And then I could drop the link and we can open it up and just, change the subject if that's what y'all want to do. I'm open, and I got a spade, I got a Nesto video for y'all as well. So we can do whatever we like over here on the front porch on this flipping Friday. Let me put my banner up so the people know what day is and what we got going on. There we go. Flipping Friday. You can't watch it because it's not televised, Vic to the Veil. This is federal, so there's nothing for you to watch. You just gotta, go check out the news sites. Again, good morning to Chanel. Hey, India. I had to hit you up. I did see your message. Happy to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Are you off tomorrow, Chanel? Hey, Tasha B. Hey, much better today. Hey, Jay Blake. Ebony's at work. Hey, Ebony. And hey, Vic to the Veil, because I just started talking to you. I didn't speak. Hey, Miss Boogie Doom. What you got to say about your New York brother? Hey, there she go. No, ma'am. Federal court is never, I ain't gonna say never because I'm speaking as if I'm a expert. But no, federal court is usually not televised. Hey, El Sid. I jumped in at the end of your live, but Char, I was over here getting my 2-step on and my twist on. I'm glad you're here too, India. I haven't really been paying attention. I was, but I wasn't watching it probably for the reasons that some people were watching it. I was interested in it. I wanted to know how things were going to pan out in the end. I don't know if this is going to be the end, if Diddy's going to appeal, the sentencing, or he's going to appeal the case. I don't know at this point. But y'all, we're going to talk about it. We definitely going to talk about it, okay? Because you really have to just know, find a person, Vicky, that you like the way they deliver, the message over there on their channel. Some is commentary, some is more serious, like some is more legal, because there's nothing that you're going to get directly from the courts. Hey, Goldie Pearl. Ha ha ha. The twist was the song of the day. Yes, ma'am. All I needed was me a little hula hoop, baby. I think Vicky's talking about the video his team released. Oh, well, you're not gonna see it. I don't think the court will release it, but I'm not sure, Vicky. Did we hear about what was up with Angelica case this week? No, baby. Do I need to get on my job? He showed his hand by having booking for speaking before he even got a word of his sentence, baby. There was a Diddy produced video for his sentencing that was uploaded somewhere for the masses too. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna go over there, but if I see it on, somewhere, I don't know if I'll even watch it. You think he's gonna do a appeal? I'm not sure. I've been, I had to work the last 2 weeks because we were wrapping up the final fiscal year activity. So I haven't been out here. I was gone for a week. I don't know. I fell off with that, but I need to get caught up. That's the point. Hey, Miss E, thank you so much, Mods, for being here. Appreciate you. And the chat, okay? And you in the bushes, thank you for being here as well. Let's get into this Diddy mess. I'll give him a few seconds to come up in here. Oh, she gonna be at the release party? Girl, I ain't been over there. I have not been over there, baby. Shoot, I didn't get off one day this week till 6 o'clock. So I'm trying to get my little stuff together. Yeah, and I'm careful about what I put over here. But I don't know if I'm interested in watching the video. If it's anything like that apology one he had over there on IG, I don't want to see it. It was cringy. It was too cringy for me. Let me get my questions shot because I do have some questions for y'all. And I try to make them funny, not so serious. Because again, I was watching because I was interested. I love music. Y'all know I'm always going to a concert. I already got my Cardi B concert. I don't think I told y'all that. But I will be going to see Miss Cardi B, see what it's giving. I'm going for the experience. I'm not really a super fan of anybody. I just am a lover of music, live dance, music, period. So I'm going to see what Cardi B giving. So I'll give y'all a review when I go next year in 2026. Hey, CW. No, not like a funeral obituary was released last night. It's everywhere online. Oh, see, I've been on and off online, so I missed it. It was him with his kids and Kim Porter. Girl, stop. Child, the sketch of him showing him crying with the prayer hands. Oh, tell me the one I have on the thumbnail, Vicky. Is that the one you're talking about? I don't know. I'll see. Sure. Okay. I'ma just be all over the place with my questions, child. Y'all know how I do it. It's not gonna be in no particular order. Okay. Bad boy, now traded in that damn shiny suit for a damn orange suit. Y'all think Diddy gonna bedazzle the orange jumper and bedazzle out his slides? Y'all think he got the Velcros like Nesto? You think he got the Velcro 3000 as big to the Vel column? I told y'all I was going to be messy. Sure. I'm just asking for a friend. Okay, we can start with the sentencing. No particular order. How do y'all feel about the sentencing? I didn't know, to be honest with you, how that was going to go because I don't have a lot of background experience in that, but I did think he was going to get more time. I was looking towards maybe 6 to 7 years. So was I shocked that he got the 50 months? I think it's like a little under 5 years. No, but I did think that he was going to get between 6 and 7 years sentence. Hey, let's talk about it all. You're going to see Monica, Kelly Rowland, and Brandy. I've seen Monica before. I don't think I've ever seen Kelly Rowland, and I'm not a Brandy fan. And Brother Love is completely gray now, looking like Papa Smurf. Hey, real. It's going to the Fed, so he may have different access to commissary items. So Big says she don't think he gonna have them Velcro 3000s with the snap. You was thinking about 6 years, okay? Not enough time in my opinion. Yeah, I kind of wanted them to get him for the old and the new India. You know what I'm saying? I think he should have gotten the 8 years in total. I agree with that, Chanel. Hey, Georgia Peach, what you think about the sentencing? Hey, Lady Janice, I saw you on the replay, Lady Janice. Thank you so much for supporting. You thought about 7 years, okay? His fan was ready with the. What do you think about the sentencing, LC? Stay on topic. I'm gonna come back to that. I got something to say about the family too. I need to pin that. Do y'all think Diddy will be having talent shows up in the federal prison? I don't know if he's going to be in maximum, minimum, or low security. I don't really know how that work at this time, with Diddy, but y'all think he's going to be doing talent shows? Because some of the inmates say that Diddy has been mentoring them. He's been so positive, even though he said that he was in a situation where he almost got shanked. He has had a really, really good experience with the inmates. So do y'all think he's gonna be in there recruiting, doing talent shows, writing music, promising to hire some of these inmates when they get out because they Jailhouse Got Talent, not America's Got Talent, but Jailhouse Got Talent? It's not enough time. Hey, Tanya, be here. Yeah, to learn a lesson. Yeah, because them talking about how he's so clean now. He hasn't done drugs since they busted in, on his last, planned freak off with Miss Lil Sex. What 50 Cent call her? Little Miss Sex Star, Little Miss Sex, something. I forgot what 50 Cent called his baby mama, but Little Miss Sex Slaver. They busted in, and told him to assume the position, found that pink pixie dust, found, the freak off kit in the hotel. He been clean since then, y'all. Always. He got 4 years and 2 months, and he will be eligible for parole after 80% or 85. I think it's 85, and he's been in there a year, so he'll get to offset that time. I think it was reasonable sentence, not too harsh and not too mild. I got you. I feel it was too mild. Hey, Trina B, what do you think about Diddy's sentencing? I think the judge was petty by giving him 50 months. He could have given him 48, 40, 51. He just gave him 50 cents. Oh, speaking of 50 cents, what is he saying? Because I know he over there posting on the IG or whatever social media platform he prefer to be on. But I know he give them the business over there. He giving us some ammunition to clown Diddy with. He only clean because they forced him to be clean. Well, he in jail, so it's not like he got access to, what he had, when he was out here. He don't have the freedom, to just, call up his dealer, call up his mule and tell them drop me off of, one of them sacks of pink dust. He can't do that. So he is in a confined, quarters, okay, with supervision because he's in jail, and he don't have access or resources to a lot of the things he would have if he was free. So don't act like he just walked up into a rehab center and checked himself in. Little Miss Sex Worker, I could not think of it. Thank you, Tanya, be here. Little Miss Sex Worker, he in jail. He couldn't do the drug. That's what I'm saying. He couldn't do the drugs. Thank y'all. I heard he may be able to choose which penitentiary he's assigned to. I've never heard that before. Maybe, but we'll see, India. He's spinning the dance in the video. Ooh, ooh. He was mad because he had to eat potato chips out of damn bag. I was like, sir, you're not helping your case because you sounding a little privileged. You sounding a little like a little rich bitch. You need to pipe it down. No sympathy, no apology to the victims. Only thank the damn jurors and complain about him having to drink toilet water, eat chips out the bag, wear the same jailhouse uniform 2-3 days a week. His kids out here by themselves. I'm like, sir, you weren't worried about them kids when you was out here calling up 1-800, I need a dicker, for tonight. Let me fly you out. Let me flew you out to have these freak offs. You won't worry about your kids then. Hey, Drea. I'm glad you caught alive. The judge could have sentenced Diddy to 49 or 51 months. He did 50. Okay, he got his 50 piece in his 50 Cent voice. Diddy got done by 50. B.I. ain't a judge. Oh my God. Not being able to do wrong doesn't count to me as being rehabilitated. Right. I agree with you, real. Hey, Jackie, how you doing? Well, he'll be cleaner if he knew them 2.5 years. Okay. Being in jail doesn't make him rehabilitated or as if he's in a rehabilitation. I get you. He can't ask or make a recommendation for the prison, but no guarantee. Okay, he will get that choice. Thank you, El said. I agree. We all know Diddy ain't no angel. However, give him a sentence fitting to what he prosecuted for. I think it was fair. Okay. It's jail. What was he expecting? He wanted to be able to go to the spa, India, and have, bottled water. Okay. Chips made from, real potatoes, not preservatives. Okay. Okay. It was confusing. He was doing all these wonderful things, yes, with the inmates, but also lived in fear. Make it make sense. Right. He talking about he was almost shanked, but he has a wonderful relationship. He's in there mentoring everybody. He is in the sick, holding hands, having church. He is in there writing gospel music. He's in there being a positive, inmate, even though he lied about the tablet, okay, that he had supposedly for legal, purposes that the COs took. He lied about that. He was in there using other inmates' PIN numbers. Okay, he was circumventing the system when it came to how he was communicating, with individuals on the free world, in the free world like us. Okay, he would be out to celebrate his 60th birthday. Okay, he blamed the substances. Baby, no. Vic to the veil. Vic to the veil. He said, allegedly, Brian Steele, okay, that I was not supporting this go round, okay, said that his client, Sean P. Diddy Combs, got addicted to prescription drugs in the early 2000s. As if he didn't have that pink dust. As if them people said he didn't have that K drug. There's no people that say he was over there on that hardcore spike baby oil. Vicky, he was just addicted to prescription drugs. Yes, ma'am. Like he didn't have a mule with that. I'm gonna stop right now. I'm gonna stop right now. Yes, the spa. BS. Did he stop it? I'm just saying. Did he self-sabotage when he made appointments for guest appearances next week? Well, they had somebody in there to speak on that, okay? That guy said, he's a criminal too. He has a past, with the Laos. And he felt that it wasn't really like booking, and him going out boasting and bragging, because them folks down in Miami-Dade County, um, they really think highly of him. And they said this is a peculiar case. It's a strange case. Okay. That's what the man said. Okay. The booking, the booking agent down there. Okay. He said it was just a part of his rehabilitation. The school system down there, the law enforcement down in Miami-Dade County don't understand what's going on here. I was just saying, I'm like, baby, please, that is not the one or the two. I think he had that last baby for sympathy, because the twins would have been out of high school by the time he got caught up. That's something to think about much better today. He got to make it look, yeah, like it still did. Baby, all his witnesses was not witnessing for me. They were like so focused, driven on Diddy, what he's gonna be missing out on if he go to jail, his relationship with his children. Not enough sympathy or empathy or no type of accountability for anything that was disclosed during the trial. Hey, Juju D, more than that. They say so he lost his way. Yeah, Vic, it was. Lady Janice, I believe you are correct. Part of his rehabilitation. Okay, booking agent. Yes. And the pastor, baby, the pastor was up there for 10 minutes. I said, where the hell TD Jakes at? I thought TD Jakes was his spiritual advisor. What happened to TD Jakes? Because I didn't know that man who who name they dropped in them chats that was up there as Diddy's pastor. Was it Pastor Troy? I don't know. I'm like, what happened to TD Jakes? Hey, hey, Bobby lady, come on the front porch. The judge made a statement with the sentencing. Oh, baby, the judge lady. I was leaning back like Fat Joe. Okay, when I was listening to y'all know my boy JLR investigates. Baby, I leaned back like Fat Joe, baby. Love the photo, Bobby lady. Absolutely none. That's exactly why I don't believe he's learned his lesson at all. I know who that man. I need to Google him. I'm like, who that? Who that be? Where is TD Jakes? We know why TD Jakes wasn't there, but I'm just saying. I was too tickled. Okay. Let me look through my notes. Let me see. But I did kind of feel bad for the girls. They said, he the only parent we got. Flawed, druggy, woman beater. He all we got. Please let our daddy out. I felt a little bad for him a little bit, because you can't pick your parents. And then I mean, this really not even the end for Diddy, because he got all those silver cases out. So it's like, okay, at least you can check this off and know that you got your 4 piece, but he still gotta fight all those silver cases, and they are still dropping them on him. LOL must be mean then. Oh, let me see. He in the same boat as R. Kelly to me. I could see that. And a lot of people have been referencing him and R. Kelly, in the same topics. TD Jakes refused to write out on Diddy behalf. Jake already in enough trouble. Jake said, I'm gonna sit this one out because he has swallowed. Have you ever been swallowed? I love it, Baba Lady. What? Lady Janice? They say what? LOL, I must be mean then. Why they saying you mean, Tanya be here? I guess the freak off. They plan for the release. Gotta wait, baby. They taking applications, I'm sure. Okay, joking. Really? Listen, speaking of that, y'all said, who do y'all think Diddy's first visit is going to be? Okay. A, Carisha, Young Miami. B, Gina. I don't know shit. I ain't coming to court. Subpoena, but we're missing. Okay. Who could see these? Or one of the kids. I had to throw something fair in there. Who y'all gonna think the first visit he gonna have? I think it's gonna be Carisha, Young Miami, City Girl. I think it's gonna be her. Bet on his release registry gonna be baby oil, baby. That's need to be a part of his conditions when he get out. No more baby oil. Period. Hi, hey Chick-fil-A girl, howdy. Hey Keena. Did he should have gotten somewhere and shut the F down? He probably would have got time served and probation. You mean he would have been able to walk away because he is getting time served, for the year that he's been in there. But I get what you're saying that he would have been able to maybe get out. Don't know. Hey, complicated. I'm driving and listening. Tell me why Westmoreland was crying. Baby, when they said somebody was crying, I said, who? Girl, she may be the first. Wait a minute. Westmoreland may be the first visit. Let me back that thing up. I was like, what? You didn't feel bad for the children. LOL, only the little baby. Well, I'm sensitive because, my mom is deceased and I lost my mom at an early age. So I was able to sympathize, and have a little empathy for the girls. Okay. They were younger than I was when my mom passed, but older than my sisters when my mom passed. That was the only thing I think Tanya be here. I was like, oh. But it wasn't like a oh my God. It was just like a quick oh. Yeah, I bet it's the first visit. Who else said? Okay, Big to the Veil say Young Miami will be down for another sugar pappy by the time he gets out. No, baby. Miami still getting her bills paid just like, oh, that could have been my third person. Little Miss Sex Worker. Miss, yes. So Young Miami 1, 2, Gina, 3, Little Miss Sex Worker. I forgot about that. But baby, Diddy is still tricking because he say he still got it. He's still paying his women bills and attorneys, okay, while he locked up. Now, I don't know about little Miss Sex Worker. Now that he done got his 4 piece, he may cut her off. But Carisha wrote her damn victims, not victims, her character witness statement, baby. So Carisha still getting her bills paid, in my opinion, allegedly. Yeah, 50 Cent. Let's see if Miami visits him. some man, you think one of the freak off men gonna go visit him? One of those on Backpage. I'll be your freaky deaky. Go visit him first. Who's gonna be the first visit in prison? That's what the question is. She probably gonna show the new sugar daddy tomorrow on her IG. Oh no, Carisha's still locked in, baby. He said it ain't tricking if you got it. Young Miami said Diddy is a good Christian man. Okay, Carisha. Sure, Shirley said that Nestor was a good Christian man as well. We have a different definition. Okay, he put something in her drink or something. Sure, they say he's sneaking in the sneak the. They say he sneaks it in the drinks. Okay, that's how he get you. He spike your drink and get you hooked. And then it's on from that point, allegedly, according to Cassie. She don't know what that even means. Kanye, aka Ye, will be the first visit. Okay. Not at all. Speaking of Kanye, now do y'all think that other celebrities that have been silent, they've been like, I don't know, Diddy who? White party where? I don't know what you're talking about. Do y'all think they're gonna pop out now and support Diddy in public? Even if they was, rooting for him in private and praying for him in private, do y'all think a lot of the celebrities, now that he's got his 4-piece, is going to pop out and publicly support him? Other than Bootsy Badass, I think she would be here if it were not for him, allegedly. Happy Friday. Bank, I miss Bank. Hey, sis, I'm sorry I didn't speak to you. Yeah, Little Miss Sex Worker, aka Daphne Joy. He said he thought Little Miss Worker was being helped by him, but her testimony changed his views. Well, baby, you think he cut off? Because she was still living in her mansion that Diddy was paying for her. Okay. I'll be your private dancer for money. But Big say dancing for honey buns. Do what you want me to do. They say, yeah, right. So, okay, man, I gotta reach out to have some questions. Okay, I'll hook you up. LOL. Nope. They say nope. Listen, they got bigger problems to worry about. Bootsy Badass got bigger problems to worry about. Yeah, because Bootsy surrendered. He said, I'm guilty. Over there with his little pow charge with the federales, baby. So he looking scared now by the face in the eyes because he don't know what his sentencing is going to be. Okay, so maybe he get a 4-piece like Diddy too, chill. But he a convicted felon. See, Diddy didn't have, Diddy been having everybody else take them charges, baby. Take that. Bootsy, that's a whole different story. Well, what y'all think about the industry? They ghost Diddy. A lot of people was like, I don't know that man. Y'all think they're gonna pop out now and support him? Do y'all think Diddy will write a tell-all book? Okay. While he locked up, he could write his biopic or a tell-all book like Nestor. Diddy say he lost everything, y'all, too. He said, I lost all my businesses. He said, I don't have nothing. Judge, please let me out. Like old boy over there that was riding in the car with Ice Cube trying to get, revenge over Ricky being unalived on Boys to the Hood. He said, Judge, let me out. I done lost everything. All my businesses, my business connects, my resources. I don't have nothing left. Duddy's kids might have to learn a legal trade now. And that's another thing to me, with Diddy. Okay, you have all these resources, you have all the, at that time, you had a lot of people around you. Why was you not trying to put your kids in their own businesses? I don't do the Kardashians like that, but I'm going to use them as a reference point to the, like the Kardashians. Everybody has their own lane, their own business outside of the family's business. Okay. So Diddy is so selfish, so self-absorbed, wants to be the star, wants to have all the attention on him. He never even thought to set his kids up with their own businesses. And his oldest kid gotta be about 30 or approaching 30. Why does a 30-year-old not have something of their own? How old is the oldest kid from Misa? Christian. Not what's his name? Justin. Excuse me, Justin. How old is he? Why were you not trying to branch off and have businesses for your kids so they can make their own money outside of you? I don't get that. Hey, Sleepy Libra. Beg and Benny Zesty Puff. I love it. See, money don't change character. Oh, Lady Janice, baby. That man said, they go bank. El Cid wants to link up with you. El Cid, I'll message y'all information in case y'all don't have it. But anywho, Lady Janice, that man said he got childhood trauma. Okay. It unresolved childhood trauma. And that is why, the result of that is him being addicted to prescription drugs, um, being abusive towards women. His behaviors came from his childhood traumas. Okay, even though his dad passed away when he was an infant baby, he hadn't even rolled over yet. He was still breastfeeding. Okay, and finding out that his dad, was unalive the way that he was unalive because his mom hid. He knew that his dad wasn't alive, but he didn't know how his dad had passed away. So learning as an adult, how his dad was unalive caused him childhood trauma. Okay. Look at Boosie. Diddy, the way have not changed. I agree. So true. Control. Okay. Nesto said he lost everything too. His businesses, his money, his 3 wives, his damn oil rig truck. He left everything. He lost it all. Even his family and friends and his best friend at that. I see him now, but I didn't see it earlier. Are you seeing my comment? I gave her a Insta up thread. Okay. Okay. I can see it now, but I didn't see you earlier when Miss E spoke to you. But I see you new, girl. What you think about Diddy? Their sentencing. We being messy. They say control. MLK Junior kids had childhood trauma too. Yeah. Well, it not that it's any better, okay, but MLK Junior kids were like old enough to know what was going on. Diddy was an infant baby, 6 months. So I think he was just using that as a get out of free jail card. I'm like, Diddy, stop. Okay, I know YouTube be on some ish sometimes. Yes, they do. Hey, 14 plus one, come in, join us. We talking about Diddy, the sentencing. Do you think it's fair? Do you think it was too much? You think he should have got lesser time? You think he should have been able to walk out? You know, what do you think? And who do you think is going to be the first person to visit him? I want you to think about the testimonies and the judge response. Diddy had a mama, wasn't like he was an orphan. Yes, and said that his mom had worked 2 jobs. She worked really, really hard, and she was there for him, you know. Unresolved or his childhood trauma, I believe it. He got it from his mama. His mom was perfect. What are you talking about? He needs to accept the truth about his trauma. His mama did something to him. Their relationship is weird and nasty. Yeah. He didn't really say too much about Miss Janice. The only thing I can remember off the top of my head is that he wanted to move to Miami to be closer to his mom, because that was another thing that to me that he was pushing too. It was like, okay, you can't tell the judge where you want to live at, sir. Okay. You gotta do your time, your bid, your probation, your parole where they tell you. But he was already saying, I want to move to Miami. He had speaking engagements in Miami. He had everything planned out in Miami, but I don't think that was his primary residence. But he said he wanted to move, to Miami to be closer to his mom. Everybody gets time served. If you do a day in jail when you're sentenced, they give you time for when you were locked up. So everyone gets time served. Everybody get their time offset, from whatever their sentencing is, if that makes sense. You think it was fair? Okay. His mother will probably be the first visitor. True. Janet's gonna come in there with one of them synthetic nappy wigs on. The judge read him, baby. The judge read him his rights. I need to find that so we can read that. We could go through that. I need to find the judge's. I need to Google and find that, because baby, when I tell you the judge had me leaning back like Fat Joe, I don't know if you was in here earlier when I said that much better today, because I was like, ooh, ouch, that hurt, that stung. I agree. I don't think that's his real mother. Really? Who y'all think his mom is? Diddy makes my skin crawl. I personally think he shouldn't. I think you mean shouldn't. Okay, shouldn't see the light of day and be a freak off beta bubble. Okay, and them in prison, child. He said he ain't safe. He ain't safe. He ain't safe with his best friends now. That he been mentoring. He need to get the hell up out of there. He want to eat real potatoes, chips, not the ones out the bag. Chocolate. LadyTeaBug, now Nesto lost everything, even that orange truck, baby. His face card declining out here and all, chocolate. Lady Janice, this is to you from Bobby Lady. I completely agree. His behavior towards women definitely stems from his mama. Their interacting behavior towards each other is suspect. I believe he has misplaced anger towards women. I could see that too. Diddy is looking for make believe trauma, yes, which is his dad's dad. That was my point in saying it, like, baby. Diddy was throwing everything but the damn kitchen sink and apologies and sympathy, empathy, and accountability to the victims. Okay, because when Diddy was up there talking, all I was hearing was me, myself, and I. Like, it was no use. Okay, it was no use, baby. It wasn't even no wheeze. Okay, it was just about him. I would like to thank the jury. Okay, I would like to be able to go to Miami with my mama. I would like to be out here with my children. I would like to be able to eat real potato chips. But I get it. Okay. Hey, Mons. See, he's mistreated. Yeah, that chef that made his favorite potato chips. Shoot, Diddy gonna be a vegetarian up in there. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Hey, Edward, welcome to the chat. Give me your thoughts. Didn't receive what he needed to have, but I believe all the others needed to be prosecuted as well. Yep, it wasn't all him. Yeah, I agree with you. And just to piggyback off of what you're saying, this is how we seen this, not just with Diddy. Somebody brought up R. Kelly earlier. We could go on even without celebrities and just individuals that work a blue collar job or in our communities that may be drugs dealers. They surround themselves with these people that enable them, okay, that help them carry off, these crimes, and I agree with you, because if you are a security guard and you was out here forcing someone because your employer said not to let them leave, or to force them in a car, won't let them out the car, or you were, going physically to someone because your employer sent you to their apartment or wherever they are and made them come back, that's not right. That's not right at all. I'm sorry. If you are out buying drugs and you know that he is forcing someone else to take these drugs, that is not right. And I agree with you on that, Edward. Okay, we all have some kind of turmoil in our lives. There's no excuse for abusing others. Girl, that ninja was capping, big capping. Hey, my Leo sister, welcome, welcome. You've been in the bushes supporting. Thank you, sis. I forgot I had 2 birthdays on yesterday. If you in this chat, let me know so I can play the birthday song for you. It wasn't all him. It was Rico. Hey, Nestos. My mom didn't still get him off the RICO. He has 7 attorneys, so I do not know who did what role was what, because he had 7 attorneys. So I'm pretty sure it was a group team effort. Still was the last person in my mind is correct, telling me correctly. Still was the last person to join the legal team. Those other attorneys that he had, with the exception, I think one of them may have quit, had been there since he had been locked up, if my mind serves me correctly. So I cannot give any credit to just Steele, because he had 7 attorneys and they were there before Steele joined. I think Steele joined right before trial, maybe a few months before trial. Hey, champions. So I can't give all the credit to Steele, but it was a group effort, I think, anyway. Nesto has 7 lawyers, baby, and it's all one person. Cynthia. She's 71, baby, with 35 years of legal experience. But I know what you mean. He had the fly lawyer, he had DC, he had Crowell, he had Hannah, he had Sean Hoover, and he had probably some public pretender sprinkled in there somewhere, and Cynthia, of course. Hey, Gina, welcome. Come on in. Let me know what you think about the trial, the sentencing, anything that stood out to you. If you've been listening, today, or popping in and out, because I was popping in and out of. First, I was a little bit more invested. Then I was like, I'm tired of this. And I quit, But I said I will come back and revisit it, when he was sentenced, because I don't like to do all the rumors and stuff. I'm like, I just want to talk about the facts. Yes, they both still in for the purpose of the RICO, but I should have asked, did he beat the RICO case? He did not get charged with the RICO case at all. Let me tell you what he actually got charged with. Okay. A judge sentenced Sean P. Diddy, Brother Love Combs, to serve 50 months in prison, just over 4 years, for 2 prostitution-related charges. Combs was also given 5 years of supervised release and a $500,000 fine. 3 months after he was convicted on 2 prostitution-related charges, he was acquitted on the serious charges of SCX trafficking and racketeering conspiracy. Okay. There we go. Sarah Boone, I think they said the last attorney that she had after she was convicted has now quit. I think she's up to 16 attorneys at this point. Okay. If truth be told, this type of stuff happens well before it even comes into power. Yes, I agree with that, Edward. What about the people who trained him? Yes, I agree. What do you think about well, Andre is no longer with us. Rest in peace. If you was a part of these activities, what about Clyde Davis? What about some of the other names that have been mentioned? What's going to happen with them? You think there's going to be a lesson learned to Hollywood that, anybody can get it? Nobody's untouchable. Nobody's above the law. You may not get it, the actual time you're out here really, 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 running it up and doing these crimes. You may get away with it, but long term, are you really going to get away with it? Because you don't know. Like, you got away with it 10 years ago with Shine, or whatever. No, Shine did like 10 years, but you got away with it. Yeah, that was probably about 10 or 11, about whatever time frame it was. I'll say 10 just for purposes of here on the front porch, but 10 years ago, but now you're here today. Okay. So maybe this would be a wake-up call that, into the ladies too, in the men, because men have been, abused as well in this industry, that maybe seeing what happened with Diddy, may make some of these young, old, or middle-aged individuals think about the situations that they're going into, be a little bit more cautious, be a little bit more alert, and be willing to walk away, because you could end up, like some of these vixens that are strung out on drugs, unalive, because allegedly people around these situations are no longer here. Maybe this will be like a learning experience for some people, because everybody don't have, people in their family that is teaching them some of these things. Some people are really naive and some people are followers. And it's unfortunate, when you get around people that don't mean you no good, you end up in situations, because everybody don't have a family that's aggressive, that's going to ride out and, pow somebody, or pull up and be ready to fight. A lot of people don't have a lot of male presence, in their family. And, that's one of the way they pick these victims. Cynthia got 15 people in her head, baby, at Deuce. So Nesto had about 38 attorneys. My birthday was yesterday. I knew I had 2 birthdays. Let me hit the birthday song for you. I'm gonna get out to the bottom of the chat. Okay, that's what I was meaning. Did he beat the Rico? Got it. Okay. That New York City, no, Hollywood. Well, there's a lot of Hollywood people in New York. Okay. He thought he was going to get out because get away, maybe. He thought he was going to get something because he got away with it. Yeah, because of Shine. He thought that money still talk, baby, and he was used to it. And this is not the end. He still got 1,000 silver suits out there, and I'm just throwing out a large number. I don't know how many it is. Hey, Mama Keisha, let me hit y'all pals. And we got a birthday in the building. Virgos, stand up. Not Virgos. What y'all are? Cancers. We out of Virgos. Libras, because my little sis Vic to the belt. Libra gang, stand up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to
Happy birthday again, and many more. Thank y'all, everybody. Libra gang. On the 13th, okay, Edward, you gotta come back so you can get your birthday shout out. Bit to the Veil is in a few weeks. I got somebody on the 6th, somebody on the 11th. I remember, I got them wrote down over here, y'all. Well, happy birthday to all the Libras, okay? But yeah, well, hopefully this is a learning experience for people that want to get into the music business. But for the regular folks like us, just to watch your surroundings and watch the people that you're around, because a lot of times with these drugs, drugs, I'm sorry, YouTube don't bother me about saying the word. A lot of times with these drugs, people be sneaking it, in your drinks, your food, if you do that green tree stuff, people be lacing, different drugs. So just be careful, watch your surroundings, and if you get the gut feeling something not right, get the hell up out of there, and don't be jumping into nothing, so fast and so quickly. Try to learn the people, learn their behaviors, and see if it's a good fit for you, because this do happen in everyday life, like I said, on regular jobs, DRU dealers, this type of thing happens. It's not just in Hollywood. And everybody don't have, family that's telling them this. People can be naive. Hell, I was naive at some point. I had to learn a lot of things on my own, but it's a good thing that I'm a quick learner and I'm an observer. That was two things I had on my side. And my grandmother was a praying lady, baby. And she knows she had to pray for this damn Leo. Because true, y'all know, if y'all know any Leos in real life, y'all know how we are. That lady probably stayed on her knees day and night praying for me. So thank you, Granny B, because baby, the prayers is still bouncing on my girl off your girl back. Okay. Thank you, Edward. Diddy is really locked up because he went after that liquor company, Diego, allegedly. This is the real reason he got charged. He overstepped his boundaries and they took him down. Well, that's what he get. I don't feel sorry for him, but I do understand what you're saying, Lady Janice. Thank you, Edward, for becoming a new subscriber over here on the front porch. We welcome you. Happy to have you. You're welcome. Yes, Lady Janice, I agree. Yeah, because Diddy did, even when I say Diddy, it could be his attorney or somebody, because all his attorneys got up and spoke, about him. So I'm just going to say Diddy them, okay? He said he lost everything. He lost his revolt. He lost his liquor. He's lost Sean, John. I mean, he's lost all his businesses, but they're forgiving with these men. And it's the women for me. When I was scrolling on Facebook, just, looking to see what people's thoughts were, it was more the women that were celebrating and laughing, like let him out. They were going hard against the female victims. And I'm like, baby, I don't never want to be friends with y'all because I can't, I don't even know how to be that way. Okay. All I know how to be is a lady. And for the ladies, a girl. But it's the women for me. Y'all give set up, like y'all will set me up or your friend up in a situation and be laughing. Hey, Keena. I think it's all popped off with Cassie. I see that, Miss E baby. I think he probably wish he would have just settled with Cassie earlier on and not let her file them damn documents in Silver Court and pay her so quickly. I don't feel sorry for him either. Do you allow people to come to your panel? Yes, I do. I do, Edward. Miss Boogie now. Everybody saying happy birthday. Yes, yes, yes. I asked earlier if y'all wanted me to drop the link. I didn't have too much to say. I just, y'all know I wanted to bring the commentary to it because I know it's a serious topic. And being a woman, we do have it really, really hard. And I hate to see that the women are just so non-supportive, when it comes to other women. Like there's no empathy. It's no, I got your back, girl. It's no that we gonna tilt your crown. It's just like, oh well, that's her, not me. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't grow up like that. So, it's not in me to be that way. Okay, Diddy did sue them. Oh, they got in touch with Cassie. Oh, I see what you're saying, Lady Janice, and had her to start it. You think they gave Cassie a little payout too, Lady Janice? Because I was shocked and surprised to see in here and read that Cassie actually got paid from the hotel as well. So she got $10,000 from $10,000, $10 million from the hotel too. Okay, you'll come up. Okay. Me neither. Okay. So you think they may have gave Cassie a little coin behind the scenes, Lady Janice? I could see that. You never know. I mean, if that was a way for Cassie to feel whole after all the things that she been through, then I'm all for it. I'm all for the girl power. Get it how you get it, because she really, really had been through a lot. I do feel like she was abused, and I do feel like she was terrorized, and he forced drugs on her. I do believe that. Hey, Sleepy Libra. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Yes, he did sue them. Okay. I always say you can't judge a life you haven't lived. That is true, Chanel. That is true. And a lot of people are very naive, and a lot of people don't understand, but it's all in what you was exposed to in your household. Like a lot of people, aren't exposed to, they're taught like everybody's good, to help, others. And if that's what they experienced in their household, they go outside of their household with those same thoughts and that same demeanor. Everybody didn't grow up fighting in their home, fighting, just in life, period, to be heard or seen. Like, it's just we don't all have the same upbringing. We haven't all lived the same life, and it's all to what you've been exposed to, how your family dynamics is, and how your family, educate each other. And a lot of people not talking about when you get, I'm in the South, so they like the husband rule, baby. The husband, is the king of the castle. The husband is the man. Okay. You soft, if you not, a alpha male. Guess you awake for the Libra season. Leos, yeah, troll, yeah. He probably turned his business over to a family member. We know he had revolt. They cut ties with him as well. Like Lady Janice said, they dropped him from the liquor. A lot of people, I think, with the contracts and stuff like that, they just didn't fulfill them. He groomed her. Yes, yes. You better believe it. Oh, that's just speaking. Okay, I'll drop the link in a little minute. Let me make sure I get my chat, my peoples in the chat. They're not gonna come up. Yeah, I usually drop it at the end, but I'm gonna drop it. I got you, Edward. I promise you. Edward said I got something to say, and she keep damn talking. Sure, I be running my mouth, Edward. Did he sue the liquor company, okay, for racial discrimination in neglect of his Ciroc vodka? Yeah, yeah. So, what is the status of that? Hey, T. Smith, Libra gang on the 19th. Hey, Aries One, welcome everybody coming into the chat. Y'all better drop y'all thoughts down here before I bring Edward up here. Edward say, girl, I know Edward. He laughed. Y'all, I know how I get down. Oh, you ain't hurt my feelings at all. Not that you said you didn't say it. I said it, you know. Hot mess, Edward, chill. But did he accuse? And I'm not saying these people name word because I'm saying Diego of a pattern of racism and discrimination, saying the company intentionally limited his distribution and marketing of his brands to urban communities, baby, urban neighborhoods, while promoting competitors. They say Edward ready. They said they don't want to talk, so Edward can come up here. Oh, they denied the allegations, claiming that Diddy lawsuit was an effort to extract billions of dollars that they had tried for years to salvage the business relationship. Well, why Diddy didn't go step on his own grapes and create his own line and put it out himself? Edward got some shit to get off his chest up. He gonna come up here and speak for the men, okay? And I'm gonna represent the women. I would be explosive. I believe too much was put on this man. Okay, okay. That lawsuit was settled in 2024, resulting in Diddy withdrawing all his allegations against. So you think they had a settlement? They reached a settlement outside, of the public? I think that's the one that helped Cassie. Yeah, that's what Lady Janice is saying, that they helped Cassie, and then, that was the distraction so they can move on and not have to pay him. Oh, Lord. Big to the bell say, oh, Lord. Sure. Okay, let me put up my banner. When I put my banner up here. You know it's real when I put the banner up here. I'm going to drop the link. He may be paying for the sins of the past. That's what I said for the old and the new, big. Sometimes when you try to get right and you try to lead our lifestyle, boom, something from the past, just pops up. They say what you do in the dark will come to the light. Okay. What you do in the wash will come out in the damn rinse. So it's just all in divine intervention. It's just timing, sometimes. It's just how it is sometimes. He was not convicted of the most serious crimes. That's true. Vicky can come up. Now, y'all know my baby sis go off. I be going against myself, letting my baby sis up here. Okay, y'all, we got Edward Charles. He said he coming up here to represent for the men, the gents. He's sick of me. Hey, Edward.
Lady T Cake, how are you doing, Mel?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am absolutely wonderful and blessed.
I'm happy to hear that. You got any big plans for your birthday?
Well, not really. I'm gonna be leaving in November to go to the Caribbean, so I'll be out there for about 10 days.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope you have fun and enjoy your birthday.
Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you.
Okay, Elwood, I'm turning over to you because you got some shit to say.
Well, see, I really don't follow the Diddy saga.
Mhm.
like many people do and things, but I just have a different perspective upon it.
Okay.
I don't follow Hollywood like that, but I think that they did this boy wrong.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because if you really look at the overall thing of what went on, see, I don't get into all of the feelings and whatnot because,
Mhm.
everybody has their feelings.
That's
But
true.
I look at the evidence, and the evidence clearly shows and proves that this woman enjoyed everything that had happened, and everybody that surrounds him had enjoyed everything that had happened. Now, it was a give and take situation because they wanted fame, they wanted fortune, they wanted money, they wanted
Mhm.
prestige, they wanted clout, they wanted all of these things. And he was in a position to give it to them all. But then on the same token, he wanted a little bit himself. And so he wanted a little bit of bump and grind. But
Mhm.
obviously, he wasn't well endowed in the manner to which they had spoken. So he had to hire some people who, can
Now
work
that was
for
so elegantly put. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
him.
He
I try
said,
to keep it clean. But see, I don't understand why everybody was complaining because the men who had been brought to the place and stuff to have all of these little freak offs and things and
Mhm.
whatnot, they thoroughly enjoyed themselves because they had a
They
beautiful,
did.
vicarious woman who was all into doing whatever they wanted them to do. And Diddy was in the background, just doing what he did and stuff. So everybody was satisfied. They got the money, they got the girl, they got the notoriety, they got everything, and he's gotten what he wanted and stuff. So I don't
Mhm.
understand what is the big issue here. He
Well,
was not
keep going. I'll wait.
convicted. He
Mhm.
was not convicted of the most serious crime,
Right.
which was racketeering and things.
Right.
He was convicted of the Mann Act, which is, taking people across county lines or state lines and stuff for engagement of prostitution, and that's it. So what is wrong with that?
Well, I
It's-
think from a woman perspective, and I can't speak for Cassie, but I'll say what I feel like she felt the issue was. She had never did drugs before. Okay. She wasn't a person that was doing freak offs prior to Diddy. Okay. She said that Diddy snuck drugs into substances like different things, her drinks and stuff like that, and got her addicted to drugs. Okay. So then once she was addicted to drugs, as we see when people they're not in their right mind, they cannot fight, they're weakened, and they will probably do things that they would normally not do if they weren't on drugs. So she felt at times she was forced to take drugs. And I don't know anybody that's willing to do something that will be beat up, or threatened. She was beat up to the point where she had to have her nose repaired because he broke her nose. Um, she was drugged where she's had hair pulled out, like physically beat up outside of, the video that we saw. And he used his bodyguards, to keep her, secluded, when he wasn't around. He, even when she left, he told her parents that they had to pay him, in which her parents did, and he still carried on with the behaviors. Also, he would threaten, people that were around her that were trying to help her escape or help her get clean. He abused her friends by dangling them off of you know, places. He even hit one of her friends. So I think some of those things aren't things that people that are willing to do things have to endure. Um and he would hide her, out, when she was beat up, so his kids wouldn't see her. So I think the things like that, and she was like, some she didn't want to do it, but he would. threatened her, and he also signed her to like a 10 album contract, and she would be doing music, but he wouldn't release the music. Like he would have her in the studio doing music with different artists, and stuff. So he kind of dangled her career, signed her to this death contract because personally, me, now Edward, I don't think she's that talented. I'm not gonna lie, but she was signed to a 10 album deal, and he would tell her like, oh, this is not good enough, or he'll take the music that's for her and give it to another artist. So I do think he was manipulating her, in different ways. And she just wasn't strong enough to take control of the situation and maybe walk away, like some other people. Maybe she was very naive at first. And, sometimes you go into something with a perspective and then it manifests, it comes too big, for you to handle. And he had a lot of people around him that enabled him, at one point, somebody testified that he beat her, kicked her like down a hill, like drug her. Nobody would like stop him. Now, what are you supposed to do when you're a woman in that type of situation? I think that's just Cassie. I'm not gonna speak for all the other ladies.
Well, my thing is, what's new? I mean, this thing has been going on since the beginning of time. It's not
Hmm.
uncommon for women to get beat. It's not uncommon for men to get beat. It's not uncommon for the children to get beat. I mean, you have a lot of people
Hmm.
who was on drugs and alcohol and the
Hmm.
likes and stuff. You have who proclaim to be one sex and the other and things. I mean, with all of this nefariousness and all of this
Hmm.
madness that's going on in this world and stuff, I mean, what is new? So what we're going to do? We're going to vilify a man because he was strung out on drugs. He was one who had an appetite for sex and all of this and things. What
Hmm.
what what about the people who had trained him? This boy, he had trauma in his life. His father had died. His mother was around all of these people who did all of this
Hmm.
stuff. So did he ever have a chance? I mean, do we really, or can we really put everything upon Diddy? Because these people had ulterior motives too. They wanted to use this boy for what he was worth. And so it was a give and take type of situation because what he did, they did as well, but in a different manner. So can we put all of the blame upon Diddy? Because all of these people who had came to his parties and things, and if things happened to them, they didn't have to come back again, but yet they did. And for what reason? I don't think that this one young black man had that much power to where he can be able to control people's lives in a manner to which people are speaking. I mean, that's unreal.
I
Now,
think if you surround yourself with followers and people that want to belong, to a certain group of people, that people can surround themselves with people that aren't going to hold them accountable, and they're going to feed into your ego, and they are willing to do certain things because they just don't have the ability to either stand up, walk away, or call the police. You know what I mean? Like they're willing to join in before they would walk away. And I do believe that's the type of people that Diddy surrounded himself in. And I actually watch, other things from back in the day, where Diddy was surrounded and some of the things that people say. Do I believe everything? No. But I do believe that people like the mob, like people sometimes don't want to be a boss, they want to be a follower. They will fall in line, they will assist people in doing this. We see it all the time. No, we're just using Diddy because that's the topic, but we see it all the time where people just get in a car with somebody and they're riding. They really not from that type of background, but they're a follower and they end up in a situation because they didn't know who they were as an individual person. And then some people don't care because it's not their daughter, it's not their mom, it's not their sister.
But look at all of the people out on the streets and things and stuff. Nobody's concerned about them. I see all too often as I drive to work and stuff. You know, you got young people, you got old people,
Mm-hmm.
you got someone's grandmother and grandfather and stuff. All of these different people are out on the streets doing X, Y, and Z and stuff. Do the people ever think about them? Do the people ever think about the things that they had went through or whatnot? Is anybody ever going to go out and lift a helping hand to them? Or is everybody going to be judgmental and say, oh, well, you know, they can get up and get a job, they can do this, they can do that, and so on and so forth? I mean, I get both sides,
Mm-hmm.
but then at the end of the day, it was their choice. It was their choice. Why did the people wait forever and a day to come out and speak up against this man when they could have did it a while back? Now, it
Well,
was
some
stated.
people were, and they weren't. The police, they're saying that he had people on his payroll. And that came out in court that some of the evidence and some of the things that people were filing, the stuff was disappearing from the precinct, you know. So, what do you do when you're going against something like that?
Well, I mean, it's just the same way that he has gotten convicted in the manner to which he did and stuff. I mean, this is nothing new. I mean, look at all of Hollywood. A lot of people in Hollywood had to endure
Hmm.
a whole lot of things in order to get to where they were or get to where they are now. A lot of people are still here, and a lot of people are still being subjected to
Hmm.
that madness. And a lot of people are gone, all because they chose to stand up and fight and, you know, do the things that they needed to do. So my question is, why are we sitting here only vilifying him when all of these subservient people could have done something? All of these people could have band together. I mean, even if they came to a police precinct, I mean, there are so many different precincts all around the nation that they could have reached out to. They could have reached out to a lot of different FBI agents and stuff. Not everybody in the system is corrupt.
And I think it's some of the stuff is ignorance. Like a lot of people don't know you can call the FBI. You know, that's just not something you're taught. If you don't know, you don't know. And a lot of people don't know about other resources or other avenues that they could take. You know, some people just not strong enough by themselves to do it. That's just the honest truth. Miss Boogie, Down,
Yes, baby girl.
you got anything to add on?
I do. I wanted to, well, first and foremost, hello, Mr. Joseph. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Good. I just wanted to ask you, I'm definitely not gonna come at you. At the end of the day, I respect anybody who can have their own viewpoint and opinions. And some of the stuff I'm gonna support you and what you're saying, and I agree with the overall politics, but I think I wanted to ask you first and foremost, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from California.
Okay.
Okay, so you're a West Coaster. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of emphasis on the Diddy world. I came up with his family, right? I came up with Sean and his family. Actually, his sister Keisha, his younger sister Keisha. Let me give you a little bit of the emphasis. First of all, that BS that he's spewing about the childhood trauma of losing his dad, it's BS. When I tell you that he has a very strong, supportive family, including his mom, Miss Janice, and them, like
Hmm.
he came up very much on a positive end of somebody who grew up in a one parent household. Granted, his mother did work hard, and granted, but he lived in the suburbs, first of all. His family is originally from Harlem, which is where I'm from, and
Hmm.
his family moved when the father got murdered. His father was a big time drug dealer, and his family or whatever, that's what they was in. Okay, at the end of the day, I'm never here to take away anybody's trauma. I've been blessed that I was raised with both parents, lost my mother at a young age, but at the end of the day, my parents were together, and at least I was around to my mother was around till I got out of college. But I want to be
Hmm.
very clear with the Diddy aspect of it. I can agree with you on a political side of him being by himself. In terms of, he definitely should have some cellmates. You know who else should have had some cellmates? R. Kelly. You know who else should have had some cellmates? OJ. There's a whole lot of people that at
Hmm.
the end of the day, what we forget get as a society, and again, this is not about me trying to school you. This is me speaking on somebody and some situation that I know personally as far as this young man. Diddy definitely had his trauma like any of the rest of us, but he had a great support system like a lot of people who are in the same situation as him. With his father being a big time drug dealer, they had money in that family. And I get it. Money does not compensate for everything. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, he had money. He had a lot of what people who have his same circumstances in terms of their fathers not being in the home and being brought up with their fathers. He had a lot more advantage than those people. So to try to put yourself in that category and then try to capitalize on it, no, sir. No, ma'am, that is not an option because your situation was not one of poverty. Now, you being from the West Coast, are you familiar with the game of cricket? Have
no.
you ever heard of that game? Okay, cricket is a very white type of kayaking type of thing. This is what Diddy was playing in high school. He went to a specialized private high school. He chose to drop out of having a full ride at Howard University, okay? Because what he did was he wanted to go to a HBCU to try to get back into the community in which his mother tried to keep him from. In terms of the chaos and the streets, okay? These are choices that this young man was making. He chose to, if you will, waller in the hood. That is not his background. It's not his story. And that's what is part of the problem here. Do I think he definitely was being used as some sort of henchman? Absolutely. You know why? Because when we're in this industry, in this world that we live in, as Black and brown people, we do have to know our place. We got a whole damn raggedy president that's got 34 convictions. So it's already showing us the playing fields are not the same for us as it is for them. Is it right? Absolutely not. But he coasted for decades. He coasted for decades doing mischievous things. He cost people their lives throwing a party at City College in New York City back in the 90s. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, we have a problem in this society where we do not condemn these people and stop them before they get big. When R. Kelly at 27 married Aaliyah at 15, he should have never had the career that he had, but it was allowed. So Diddy, with him causing families to lose their children for throwing a promotional party because he wanted to be that big dude in his early 20s that cost 5 people their lives, that was stampeded to death. He should have never been who he was. But you know what? He kept coasting. So at the end of the day, do I think personally this charge here is what he should be getting time for? Absolutely not. I think it's bogus and I think it's bullcrap. I think it's the government's way of being mad because they didn't get him where they should have got him, which was on the RICO and the trafficking. But since they didn't get that, this is the OJ thing all over again. It allows them to get their somewhat get back. But to make him out to be a victim, no, sir, I don't agree with you. He manipulated that girl. I think of myself, I've been blessed this week to turn 52 years of age. I'm a Libra just like yourself. And at the end of the day, I think of where I was at 18 and my mind and being from New York City and being in that era in the 90s and my early 20s. Thank God there was no social media. You talk about reckless, silly, and stupid, but does it give anybody the right to take me and abuse me and put me on drugs because I'm making poor choices? No, he was a whole 36, 37-year-old man dealing with an impressionable 18-year-old child. She is a child. I don't give a damn if she's legal or not. She is mentally a child, fresh out of high school. And this man was the biggest thing on the planet. And she was like any other impressionable 18-year-old. I don't care if it was a male or female. Oh my God, he chose me. He chose me. And what I think is more deplorable, again, I will support. I again agree with you on these charges here. This is an influx because at the end of the day, yeah, Cassie and other people were calling on prostitutes and all of that, and they all was engaging in fetishes and whatever have you. And I think it's bogus. But I think what's even sadder is that when you look at it where we stand in our society as a woman, they don't give a damn about a woman. And because he should have been brought up on charges for what we witnessed, but because he wasn't, and that I agree with you, this shit here that he did get sentenced for, which he'll be out by 2027, is a joke. It's a joke, and it's sad. It's disrespectful. It's sad, and it's crazy. But what I won't do is I will not sit up here and make him a victim. He is nobody's victim. I'm sorry, sir. I have to totally disagree with you on that. That statement is what they teach you to do so that you can manipulate the heartstrings of your judge and your jury. Those victim impact statements, that's what they're supposed to do. They're an impact. And for him to sit up there and for him to utilize the fact of him not having his dad, and I'm never one to say that he doesn't have any emotional trauma from not having a father, but what I do know for a fact is he had many of male figures around him. And I do know that his mom did her damn best to give him the very best. He chose the streets. Like we make up these phrases now when they say people choose violence. He chose the streets. He did not have to go that way. But he got in this business, which is demonic. I couldn't agree more. This Holly weird, and it's just as weird on the East Coast in New York. It is just the equivalent to the West Coast of Hollywood. I couldn't agree more. But he made a choice. And because he made a choice and he ruffled the wrong feathers, he may not be getting, in my opinion, prosecuted for what he should be getting prosecuted for. But at the end of the day, it's some sort of win, and it keeps him off of the streets because he is a guilty man. But I agree with you on this, sir. He is not guilty of what he's been charged for, but he's guilty of a whole lot more. So at the end of the day, since they didn't get it right there, I'm glad that they got some sense, and hopefully his victims that were never really, this was never really about them, but I hope that they feel some semblance, especially that young lady. She, out of everybody, my heart is out for, because I think of myself at 18, and I bless God, like LadyTeaBug just said, man, I know I've had prayer hands on me. I know I've had prayer hands on me because I've been around for Freaknik, and I've been around for Myrtle Beach Bike Fest and stuff like that, not making the smartest choices. So I can't even imagine this young lady now, double the age that she came in, and hearing the promises at 18, you believe everything that you are being told, everything. And like LadyTeaBug said, me personally, I don't think she's that talented, but you know what? I can also say this. How would we ever know? Because she was never given the right opportunity, because this man already had a plan for her when he got this little girl in his possession. He already had her future plan. And I think it's just demonic and disgusting. And for that, I am glad of the sentence that he got. It ain't enough in my opinion, but he got something. And that's it. And that's all as far as I'm concerned with that. But I do agree with you.
One more. Don't.
Yes, ma'am.
He also said he lost his best friend to gun violence.
Yeah. Haven't we all? I've lost family members to it.
Ma, he talking about Biggie. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, okay. And rumor has it that you had something to do with that. But we're going to leave all of these hypotheses because I don't know it to be true. But at the end of the day, you're full of crap. You know what I'm saying? You're not the only one who's lost a friend and lost a family member to gun violence. It's an unfortunate situation, but it happens all the time. And I do agree, the bigger guns, the Clive Davises, absolutely. But at the end of the day, we are in a very sad reality if we really think that us as having power and it makes us equivalent to these folks. It doesn't. It doesn't. He allowed them to use him, and he used it and got what he could get out of it. Yeah. And he had a great run over 35 years. He's 55 years old, gonna be 56. He had a great run. But now it's time to sit your salt and pepper having ass head down and relax and reflect on how many lives you've ruined.
Well, see, and I can't speak to what you know because again, I wasn't, I didn't know his family, him and whatnot. I can only just attest and speak to that of what I have read or of what I have heard and whatnot. And I
I said I appreciate you. I get it.
Yeah, and so with such in-depth knowledge and understanding and things and stuff, yeah, I mean, if you be out there on the forefront to kind of tell the people that what you know, then probably that may have persuaded different ones to have a difference in opinion as it pertains to him and things. But my stance is simply this. I mean, again, this has been going on since the beginning of time and stuff. This is nothing new. I mean, girls getting beat, girls getting pimped out and prostituted and so on and so forth. I mean, that stuff has been going on. Now, do I agree with it? No, I agree with it. But everybody, every last one of them, from Cassie on to Diddy to whoever else was involved, got exactly what they deserved. I think that everybody got exactly what they deserve because you're not going to give anything unless you take something back. We don't live in that type of society. I'm a giver by nature. So I give wholesomely, I give from my heart in things. And I don't expect anything in return because the Lord is always going to bless me regardless of whether I give or whether I don't give. But I never give grudgingly. But I've always give. And I always have a lot of people who wants to take advantage of my heart because my mama was that way. That's the way that I was raised and things. So I can attest to how Diddy life was, whether he chose to use that to bolster his claim or whatever, he got what he deserved. And the prosecutor, they didn't do exactly what they could have done or should have done, because if they did, then he would have got convicted. So I don't blame the man for coming out in a manner to which he did and doing the various things that he did, because one, God gave him grace. He didn't get life in prison. He gave him enough time to where he can be able to sit down and reflect upon the things that he did and stuff. And so only time will tell whether or not that his heart is going to be true and sincere. Because understand one thing, yes, he is convicted. He is a convicted felon. And even when he gets out of prison, he still will be on probation for a period of time and stuff.
I think it's
so the
5
law
years.
I think
it's 5 years. Yes.
5 years supervised parole. Yep.
Yeah, so he still will have a period of time that he is going to be subjected to the long arm of the law. So within that 10-year period, although he's not going to be incarcerated for 10 years, he's still subjected. And so if he didn't learn his lesson while he was in, when he gets out, I guarantee you he won't be doing anything nefarious or hilarious. But, I stated that he was going to get 5 years, and he got less than that because I looked at the evidence. I didn't look at all of the different YouTubers and what they were feeling and things. I was looking at the evidence, and the evidence computed in my mind.
Personally, I didn't think he was going to get
him 4 years, 2 months.
I didn't think he was going to get this long. I'm going to stand by what I said because he was not prosecuted for the right things. Because I couldn't agree with you more. I may not be, you may not be, Lady T may not be into freaky fetishes and stuff like that and freak off. But to me, that's a personal choice. Now, if he was recruiting people in and trafficking people in and making them against their will, then absolutely it's deplorable. But these were people who were willingly participants.
But my thing is, Cassie was a willing participant.
That's what I'm getting to, LadyTeaBug. That's what I was going to say. But in my case, an 18-year-old that's been manipulated, it is another form of Stockholm syndrome. And so therefore, was she a willing participant? Yeah, but mentally, do I think? Absolutely not. She was already brainwashed. She was already brainwashed when we got young girls out here thinking as models that their world and their career is over because they hit 30. I can't imagine this young lady once she was approaching that 30 mark, knowing that she's been signed and only had a one-hit wonders at 18, 19 years old. I can't imagine 10 years down the road what that did to her self-esteem. And so, like I said, yes, at this point in age, I believe she's about 37 now. She's a whole grown woman. However, he got her at a ripe age as a child. And so, therefore, I'm not holding her accountable. And so I disagree with the whole she got what she wanted. You don't know what the hell you want at 18. I changed careers literally up until I was damn near 30 years old. I have a double bachelor's degree. I started off my career wanting to work with children and wanting to work with families and stuff like that, and got a real dose of reality by age 24, 25 upon losing my mom that, oh my God, this world is crazy. And no, the bureaucracy of these kids and why they're in foster homes and how they're getting pulled out of their homes, and parents who are getting awarded their kids back who shouldn't, versus the ones who really just probably made a mistake. It's a very tough career. And so I changed careers because I knew personally, like if you are a teacher, in my opinion, when you know that you cannot serve the community like you're supposed to, then you need to remove yourself. If you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. And when I lost that devotion, and again, that comes from my own personal trauma of losing my mother, and then not being able to meet her grandchild, not being able to see her daughter walk down the aisle. This is what we raise our kids up to be. And I went into a depression, but I knew enough to know I could not be a service to these kids or their families and help them get back together. So I got to bail out. And then I went into my second, which is now my current career of human resources. But at the end of the day, at 18, what I wanted to be and who I thought I was going to be, by age 25, that changed. And then by age 30, that changed again. So I'm never going to hold this young lady accountable at 18 years old for having, at that time in her life, the biggest mega producer on the planet choosing her. I can only imagine, not only was she starstruck, but that had to be for her little ego. Like, wow, he chose me. All these girls are out here singing and dancing, look better than me, are taller than me, thicker than me, smaller than me, and he chose me. And she went with that. And then he basically took that and ran with that. Because in my opinion, you knew within the first year, you had no plans for her other than for her to be your little toy that you played with when you wanted to. He ruined that girl's life, and hopefully his is ruined too. $20 million, that's a joke. That ain't nowhere near what she deserved from that bum. Nowhere near.
But is it?
Go ahead, Edward, and then we got Vicky up here. Go ahead, Edward.
Okay, but isn't that all of Hollywood and stuff? Isn't that how a lot of the people came into the industry and things and stuff? You know, from what I have heard and for what I have read, there's a door that you have to go through. So it's like 3 doors that you can choose. You can choose to either go this route, or you can either go this route, or you can either walk out and, not deal with all of this stuff. Wasn't Cat Williams the one who had said that that virgin hole of his he had to protect because Diddy had came after him about 5 times and wanted to pay him
as a grown man, though, Joseph. He came at him as a grown man. Your cognitive skills, your life experience plays a whole lot. Cat had already been on the scene long enough to see some things. He grabbed this girl and kept her sheltered from the reality of being in the industry. And she looked at it like, he not only loves me, he is my protector, when in fact he was her predator. He was her predator.
Okay, so what about Beyonce? Wasn't Beyonce at an early age when she got into the industry?
Do you think father. That she That's her dad. Okay. Her dad and her mom were her managers. Her dad and her
Okay.
mom were her managers. She chose as a grown married woman to allow now her husband to take over her career. But she started out with her parents.
Yeah,
This is your
Cassie
safe
is
haven.
nobody.
This is your safe haven. That's her safe haven.
but wasn't she at an early age when she had met Jay-Z?
But again, her parents were involved. My looking at her would be way different than my looking at Cassie. It's just going to be different. She had protection there. Now, again, she was about 19, 20, yes, when she got introduced to him. And at the end of the day, he's still predator in my mind too. He's way too old for her at that time, but his intentions for her were way different than what Diddy's intentions were for Cassie. He married her. He made children with her, and he made her the baddest chick on the planet. We didn't say that because that's what we thought. He said that. He told the people, this is the baddest chick in the business right now. And people brought on to that. So again, you got two predators preying on young girls, and one had the intentions to make his boo the biggest chick on the planet right now, give her the greatest career ever. And the other one decided, this is going to be my little F toy, and I'm going to have my way with her. That's it in that
hooked on drugs. I'm a beater, and
Thank you.
Cassie's
you don't even see Jay-Z bringing Beyonce a drink. And I'm sure Beyonce here and there has a cocktail. You don't even see this man is sitting up there encouraging her to smoke weed or anything like that. It's a big difference. Meanwhile, you got this dude lacing this girl and pimping her out and having her have freak offs with other people in front of him so he could get off. No, there's a big difference between Jay and Beyonce's relationship versus Diddy and Cassidy.
Okay,
that's not even fair to Jay. And I'm not even a fan of Jay's, but that's not even fair to Jay right there. Because to me, he had better intentions for his lady than Diddy did for this young girl that he ruined her life.
Okay, so can you tell me about all of the other young ladies that came into the industry that was about Cassie's age that had undergone things of this nature?
That doesn't make it right, though.
No, I'm not saying that it made it right. I'm just asking.
I mean, name a name, because
look at Hugh Hefner. He got to live a whole 80-something years when we know he was still impregnating barely 21-year-old women. It's this, and that's what I said in the beginning. We don't get to play the game the way you're trying to make it. It is not fair, especially to us Black and brown people, even when we got billions of dollars. Our billions don't mean nothing next to white people's billions. It's a different ball game from us. Is it fair? No, I agreed with you already. It's tacky and it's effed up. But at the end of the day, it's what the rules are in present day. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. We got a man who's sitting there with the country would rather have this 34-count felon in office than the answer to a brown woman. How disgusting is this country right now? So we can go on backwards and forward all day. This is bigger than Diddy. But at the end of the day, Diddy thought he was bigger than the system. And now the system is reminding him, you are not, sir. You are not. You still just a Negro with that we allowed to get a lot of cash, because that's the mentality. Is it right? Hell no. But it is what it is. You just a Negro with a lot of cash. That's it, and that's all. But at the end of the day, he's not seen in this world no differently than you are, sir. Because if I'm looking at your picture, you're a brown man, a Black man, and he ain't looking at him no differently than my Black behind. At the end of the day, you played the game. He had a beautiful run. Now sit your ass down and reflect on what you did wrong. Go ahead, little sis.
I think, hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I mean, I just want to touch on, there's an echo. I don't know if this was Boogie Down or what.
Okay, it's gone now.
I just want to touch on, I'm with Miss Boogie Down, and I'm with, is it Joseph?
Edward.
Edward. Sorry about that. Okay, Edward Joseph. Okay. I recognize that they probably went at him with the wrong charges. But I'm coming at this like just really of a more so of a spiritual level. He's paying for he's gonna pay for these crimes that he's gotten away with a lot of stuff. Miss Boogie Down listed a bunch of them, but there's even more. There's more the stuff out there allegedly that he has been involved in that he's been implicated in that just hadn't caught up to him. And so right now, yeah, he may not have been charged back then, but God is charging him right now, and he's gonna have to sit and pay for something. And a lot of times, these people don't always pay for their crimes. I know you're trying to say like, okay, well, he's got
Yeah.
trauma. I have trauma. I was abused from 3 to 13, um, in a manner like that. What Diddy was doing to Cassie. So I'm not out here ruining people's lives. He's not ruining just Cassie's life. I mean, there's a bunch of people, a bunch of women out there. Why you think we couldn't get Gina to come in? What he does is he just uses money to pay it off. Like Miss Boogie Down said, he's a rich ninja that that they let him get away with a bunch of stuff because he probably participated in a lot of things that he he greased some hands in the background, and he was friends with all the right people, and he showed up at the right parties and things like that. He did a lot of backhanded and back office agreements, and I mean, just even down to just the the business activities that he's done. He stole a lot of people's royalties, and then once he tried to make up for him. He's a good businessman. I'll put it that, and he's a good businessman in the sense that he knows how to cover for himself and he knows how to take care of his family. But he's been a horrible human being, and I don't care about all his trauma. There have been people who've had worse upbringings that haven't done half the stuff that he's done. So true, they didn't come at him with the right charges, and I think that the RICO might have it could have been formulated a little different, but they could have got him on something else. I mean, even if I don't know, they could have figured out something else, but and they didn't get him on a RICO, and but the man I think the Mann Act, it has those kind of prejudiced originations, but he's paying for crimes that he hasn't that he probably will never pay for. If you get what I'm saying, he's paying
Okay.
for those past things. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm glad that you mentioned that and things that you have a religious background and things. So now, is it such so to word that this man can be redeemed, or is it he's just
I,
too far gone with the various things that he has done?
I believe he is too far gone.
I do
I
too.
I think that when especially, and no, I understand you're a man, but I'm just speaking because I was actually abused, and I understand a lot about these types of men. Um, and I've done crisis counseling for this, and I understand that once you start dabbling in it, even if you just that you dip your toe into it, you awaken something inside of you. Especially with men, men have a different kind of drive than women do.
Hmm.
You awaken something in you that can't be put back to sleep. That curiosity is always going to be there. And I think as far as like his freak nasty stuff goes, but as
His
far as
freak
like
meter, his freak meter.
his freak meter, yeah, that meter, the mercury is like it's gonna explode. Like it's still there. He's just down for whatever. But as far as like his nature in regards to how he handles his business, no, because that's how he knows how to. He's gotten away with it. He's been doing this since late '80s, early '90s. So that's at least 35 years. You
And
know,
I'm gonna say no because Diddy thought he was gonna have an opportunity to turn himself in with his $50 million bond package. Well, they bust in on him, what the day before. He was setting up to do a freak off. They called him with
right.
drugs, his freak off package, his hijab, his baby oil and all those things, but they busted in on him. So even though he was turning himself in, he was gonna do one last damn freak
That's
off
that's that
before
true addict.
so that's one of the reasons I think
So
he
so
and he
there's
doesn't
no
think he did
possible
anything
way.
wrong, Edward. He don't think he did nothing wrong, Edward, either.
No, I get it. I'm just asking the question. I'm
From a
so
Mhm.
so.
Christian standpoint, I was born and raised in the church myself. My grandfather is a former pastor, but he's no longer with us. But at this point, do I think redemption is in all of us? But again, like
Yeah,
Lady
right.
T-Bug just said, he does not want redemption. He still wants to try to manipulate with the money that he has to think that he is different for you and I. Edward, I don't know what you do for a living. I don't know how much money you make, and it's none of my business, and I'm not asking. But at the end of the day, I can tell you I make a decent living for myself, and I own my own home. Okay. At the end of the day, the world would do differently with you and I as us quote unquote common folk, as opposed to him. And the mere fact that he literally wants to sit up here and think that he is above the law.
He
No,
didn't
I
even
don't think.
apologize to the
He,
victims.
because he
No.
didn't do anything wrong. And he, because in his mind, he didn't do, let me rephrase that. In his mind, he didn't do anything wrong. And so do I think it is redemption is possible for
Spiritual
all of us who
redemption.
profess to love the Lord. Absolutely. But you are still accountable for what you did here in the world. And that's what a lot of these want to be born again Christians keep forgetting. You still got to be accountable, because although Jesus will forgive us, he gave his the Lord gave his only begotten son for our sins. You still got to be accountable in this world for your sins. You still
Hmm.
got to be accountable for your sins. Now, he personally, it's to me, it's just with another case that we're going over. It's with
Yeah, we
strings.
gotta get we
Okay,
gotta
God.
get him back over here for the other
Yeah,
case because I would love to know his
I
thoughts.
right.
yeah, I would. Oh
Okay,
gosh,
God, I'll do this if you just let me. You just let me
negotiating with
free up.
God.
Like you think you can negotiate? No, you've done what you've done, and now you have to be accountable. But will you be forgiven? Can you redeem yourself? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it depends on what redemption is to you. Because I don't
Yeah.
think redemption from you. You sound like a Christian man. I don't think redemption for you, as well as myself, is the same as redemption for Diddy. It may be, and God willing, hopefully I am wrong, and I don't want to overstep being judgmental. But do I think it is possible? Absolutely. I think anything in this world is possible. Do I think it is likely? No, sir.
I don't think he's gonna change. I think that's the question you asked. I don't think he's going to, like Lady T.
Can he be redeemed? That's he
Oh,
gonna
I'm
be
sorry. If
Yeah,
he,
redeemed.
I mean, God, of course, God. If he goes, with in the light of contrition, like, yes, God. But I don't think.
but see, that's a personal view that we take when we
That's
are
true.
speaking upon these things. God is on a whole nother level. Now,
That's true.
God can forgive this man for the things that he has done. Let's look at the woman at the well. Remember, she was caught in the fault, and the people was already ready to stone her and things. But then
Hmm.
when Jesus came up on the scene, he didn't speak a word. All he did was just write into the ground. And when the people had saw what he has written, then everybody had went and they dropped their stones and walked away and things. And so then the Lord, and I'm just paraphrasing, the Lord had pretty much asked her, "Where's thy accusers?" And she said that there's none, my Lord. And so then what he had commissioned her to do was go and sin no more.
Hmm.
And so with that being said, it's no different than what has happened with Diddy in this case and things. If Diddy can be redeemed and if he can change from his behaviors and things, well, then are we as people can be able to see within ourselves to give him such grace and such mercy to do so?
I'm gonna say for me, and I'm speaking on a just from my psychological studies, a man who has opened the well. Like that well. His, like Lady T-Bug just said, the freak
The
meter,
freak meter.
the freak meter. Once that has, that's out there, and he didn't even dip his toe in it. He stuck his whole foot in it.
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to stop that because I mean, once you get there, it's in the back of your mind that the compulsion is there to do these things. So I mean, time will tell. It'll be a lot. It would take a lot of restraint from him because this is what he's into. This is what he's been doing for at least we know about two decades. Right?
Can you forgive him? That's the
Okay.
question.
Oh, can I
Can
forgive him?
you? Yes.
I don't care. I
Okay.
mean,
So
okay.
then let me ask you this question then. All right. So the Bible tells us we all have sinned and come short of the glory of God.
Yes.
So sin is sin, regardless of however you look at it, whatever level that you may look at it and stuff is sin,
Mm-hmm.
is disgusting in God's nostrils and whatnot. And so
Mm-hmm.
you have sinned and you come to the Father and you say, well, Lord, forgive me for I have sinned. And then you go into this long spell of, praying and expressing to God why you have sinned, the things that you have done. But then you say, okay, well, Lord, I want you to forgive me because I have asked for it. What do you think God should do in this case? Because regardless of whatever level you may be upon when you sin, you still sin. You still went against the Lord's precepts and what the Lord word was and stuff. So you came to God and you asked him to forgive you. So do you feel that just because you have asked that the Lord should forgive you,
Well,
or should he not?
what is your commitment to the Lord? Like, okay, forgive me because I've sinned, but my promise to you, God, is I will. This is what I will do to not keep doing this. You know, I mean, I think you should make a commitment, like make a plan and like commit to God. Yes, it's one thing to repent, but what are you committing to? What are you willing to give up, and what are you willing to do and to show God? Because you can say the words, but what are the actions that you're going to take in order to not do it again?
Yeah.
I just don't feel like that because
But
this
see,
is my,
and there again, now you're answering my point because it's because of what you feel. We don't
Yeah.
know what this man's heart is. He may really seriously be redeemed.
And
He
so I'm
may
going to be
seriously.
very harsh here, Edward. Let me just say this. It is not my job, right? That's God's job. And that's the people that his sent. So I'm going to go back to what Vicky just said. I personally, I don't have a dog in the fight. If he gets out and he serves his time, I believe that he, like anybody else who has served their time, is entitled to get out here and do what they need to do to better the lives for them and their families, right? I would never stand in the way with that. If he was a qualified applicant in my current duties of being an HR manager, I would hire him if he met because he served his time. But as far as forgiving him, that's not my job. That's not my job. It is just isn't, because with that forgiveness, I'm going to have to also throw in forgetting, and I'm never going to forget. So therefore, it's just my job not to judge him for what he's already paid for. The judgment has already been made. He's been sentenced, and now he needs to serve his time. My issue is, even in this, still trying to negotiate and still trying to manipulate because you got money. It's wrong. So it's why I believe, is the redemption possible? Absolutely. Do I think he's redeemed? Hell to the no. Now, maybe after he's been sitting there for a year and you've got to see the different things that he has actually like executing, because right now all you did was tap dance, all of them little letters and stuff like that from these inmates that don't know a damn thing about you. For all I know, that could have been paid for. Your commissary could have been booked. Your books could have been cooked. I don't know. But now that the reality has come in with the sentence, let me see what you're going to do with this. Let me see how you're going to work with this. And then I could answer your question. But in present day,
right.
Is the redemption possible? Absolutely. And will the Lord forgive him? Of course he will.
Right.
But that ain't my job, because I'm not God. And me personally, no, I need to see what you're doing with this sentence. I need to see what you're trying to do in terms of, because like LadyTeaBug mentioned, which I had a problem with, you still never said you were sorry for the things that you know that you did, whether they brought them out or not. All you talked about was me, and what I lost, and what that doesn't give any of us the right. Me losing my mom at a young age doesn't give me the right to take somebody else's mother. It doesn't give me the right to be out here and function as a dysfunctional person in society, causing more havoc and causing more mayhem. That doesn't give me the right. So it doesn't give him the right to be able to say, I was traumatized. I didn't have my dad in my life. I was this, I was that. Again, you still chose to live a certain way.
But ma'am, you're speaking upon a personal level, which I get, because even
I'm speaking on what his
beginning,
letter was, what his compassion. I'm talking literally about his letter in general. I'm not talking about what I know about his family. I'm just talking about what he put in there, his impact statement. It was all about him. I didn't hear any remorse for how your decisions and bad behavior affected other people, because then maybe I could see your side of it. Maybe I could see your side a little bit clearer, but that's not what I heard. Now, maybe I need to listen again. I didn't hear him asking for forgiveness from these people who he harmed. At the end of the day, he manipulated out of all of these victims or whatever. And I do believe some of these are money grabs. I think these people are full of crap, but I'm looking at him having hold as a 36, 37-year-old man on an 18, 19-year-old girl. And where she is in present day, and heaven help her.
I get it, and I get the passion. I get, the anger, the bitterness, the wrath, the strife. I get all of that in things and stuff. But at the end of the day, is it that you can speak for this man and speak for what he was trying to convey through his letters and things? Because from what I've heard, he had admitted that he was sorry. I don't know if it came from what he has written and things, but these were the things that he had stated, that he was sorry for the things that had went on and whatnot. So maybe he didn't apologize to the level of your experience or what you wanted for him to do and things, but for what he has did,
you know what happened?
It was okay.
Do you remember, Edward, before he got, when Cassie first dropped her lawsuit, do you remember how this man basically was saying that she was a liar and it was a money grab, and it was only until they released that footage from that hotel, which he thought was already squared away?
But what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean to me?
Because my thing is, when you had the right, when you had the opportunity to show us your character, Maya Angelou, I'm going to believe you, right? So when you first came out, how many of us,
but who is it that he has to satisfy? Does he have to satisfy you, or does he have to satisfy himself? Or does he have to satisfy the court?
He has to be honest, is what I'm telling you in answering your question. It's about the honesty. What I'm saying is, you're only.
But how can you sit here and differentiate whether he was honest or not? You're not in this person's body.
Was a liar. No.
You're not in this person's mind.
He went on Instagram, which is public, right? And he has followers. And he said that the woman was lying when she first pursued the lawsuit. He said that he never beat her, that she was lying, that this was a money grab.
Okay, and so he lied. We get that. He lied. So what? What does that mean? He lied.
Well, then so what that he said that he's sorry? Then so what that he said that he's sorry? Then two things could be true, because then I don't believe that you're sorry. What I believe, like I teach my child, is now that you're
that's a personal that's a personal experience.
But you're asking a person their opinion. You're asking us our opinion. That's what you ask.
Right.
You're asking an opinion. So all I'm going to give you is what I'm basing my answer on. At the end of the day, when everything was behind the dark, He said the girl was lying. Then when he got proven to be a liar, he went back on social media and then tried to say, I was in a dark place in my life.
Yeah.
No, but you just told us a few weeks ago that this was a money grab and that this girl was lying. You didn't say, oh, well, you know what? There's some truth to
Okay,
it.
so
But at
now
that
is this
time,
man going
I
to be
was
held
in a
accountable
bad
for
place.
everything that he said in the past? I mean, that was.
hold on. This is a commentary and reaction channel. So that's what we do. We give our commentary, our reaction, our thoughts to the subject matter. I don't think it's personal at all. It's just how we feel, and that's why one thing about my channel, even if we disagree, I allow people to come and express themselves freely, as long as it's not, too bad, too horrific. But everybody's just giving their opinion. We're not going to agree. We never agree.
We hardly ever agree.
We agree to disagree. We're not going to agree. But in the beginning of the end of the day, we don't have a heaven or hell to put Diddy in. Will I forgive? I'm an advocate for women's rights. That is my personal viewpoint. And anyone that violates a woman, child, or elderly person, they are kind of unforgivable in my eyes, period. But you can't redeem yourself, with me.
I'm with you.
That's just all around. That's not just the Diddy. That's all around to anybody. But we can all agree to disagree. I get what Ed was saying from his standpoint. Ms. Biggie Down, Vicky, and Lady Janice is waiting.
Oh, sorry.
We're just not gonna all agree, but I do understand everybody's perspective.
Hey, Lady Janice.
Hey, everyone. How's everybody doing? Can you all hear me pretty good?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Good.
Yes,
Hey,
ma'am, you're wonderful.
LadyTeaBug, how are you?
I'm good.
First of all, I just want to say that I salute Cassie for surviving everything that she endured and to be able to be at this point of her life to raise her children still in her right mind. From what I can understand, she's not doing drugs, doing things like that. So I salute her because a lot of people don't make it out that way. They do not make it out that way. So let me say that. And then I also want to say is that anytime when you're looking at Diddy and you're looking at, well, first of all, let me say this. When you're talking about God, yes, God said he would that all would come to repentance. Everybody is redeemable. Everybody is redeemable. The issue is that do they want to be redeemed? Now, when you look at Diddy and I being who I am and see what I see and discern his spirit, Diddy wants out. He is not trying to change. He is not trying to get in the presence of God. He is not trying to seek God for forgiveness. He wants out. So he was pulling all strings that he could to get out of that jail. That's what it was about for him. The Bible says you'll know them by their fruit. So when you're looking at him, you're still listening to him manipulating. He's still lying, talking in codes and different things like that. Where's the change? The Bible says godly sorrow is that worketh repentance. You got to be godly sorrow about what you have done. And the Bible is very clear. When you have done somebody wrong, you go to them.
Right.
And you tell them that you did them wrong. You can't ask God to forgive you if you're not willing to come into the fact that you have, in fact, done something wrong. But that's not how it is.
But the question was, can he be redeemed? That was the question.
I said that about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Yes.
Yeah,
he can be redeemed, but he has to want to be redeemed.
Come on.
This is something that God is God, right?
Right.
And when we say we don't have a heaven or hell to put him in, or we can't judge, the Bible says that we can righteously judge. We just can't pronounce a sentence on him. We can look at him and say, in fact, yes, I'm looking at them demons in you, those spirits. No, you ain't trying to change. And let me tell you this right here. A lot of people think that Diddy is, I'm going to say gay for the stay or whatever. Diddy is not gay. Demonic entities, they feed off of X. That is how he get his power in the realm of the spirit. That is what they feed off of. That is what makes him who he is. So when he does it, so when it comes to men and when it comes to children, Hate to say it, but that's what it is. That's
Okay,
where they get their powers from.
so
I
so
could, go
so
ahead.
let me ask you a question. So you said
Mhm.
that Diddy is not gay. So what constitutes a person being gay?
I'm not going to go down that road with you. Nope, 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 because that's a silly question. No,
No, it's
Diddy
not a silly
did
question because I mean, Diddy had performed all the acts of a person that engages in that type of behavior and stuff. So it
no,
was just
yeah.
a
It was
genuine question.
it was more of a power thing for him. If you've done study on how the demonic world works, you would understand why he did what he did. It ain't have nothing to do with his preference when it comes to man or woman. It had nothing to do with that. This was all about him and his power and his control and him feeding his demons, because demons want to eat. And when you experience that type of, I'm gonna say, euphoria of power, you're going to continue to feed your demons. Here's the thing: Diddy contract with Satan was up. See, when you make a transaction with the enemy, you only have so long to carry that out. And after that, it's a wrap. It's over. This is why I said Diddy is locked up. Watch and see, don't they go and find more charges to bring against him?
And he still
Watch.
got the silver suits too, Lady Janice. So that's, I mean, it's
Yep.
not really, it's over for this portion, but
Yeah,
he still
exactly.
got so much more to fight
Yep.
outside of this. So I get what Edward's not really, he's talking about everything. He's not just talking about the sentencing or what happened
Mhm.
today.
Oh yeah. And so when it comes to people being, like their gender or whatever have you, I personally don't personally get into that unless somebody asks me like that in private. Now, if you talk to me in private, I'm gonna give you my answer. But when it comes to stuff like that, I try to stay away, because what is the purpose of it? Right? What is the point?
Well, I mean,
But if
it wasn't a stupid question. It was a genuine question that I had asked and things because,
okay, my
I
bad.
mean,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to I'm just trying to figure out, when people see I have people who's gay in my family, people,
mhm, I do too.
yeah, people who likes the same sex and things,
Mhm.
Hmm.
and whatnot. And I never understood it. People say that, okay, well, I was born that way and things. I'm kind of like, well, you were born in a Christian family. You were born, with preachers and pastors, evangelists, and the likes around and things. You grew up, professing Christ within your life and things. How could you say that you are this way or you were born this way? I just was taken back behind that. So that's why when you had said that Diddy is not gay, but
No,
yet
he's
he
not.
does the things that gay people do, I'm
Mhm.
just was asking, well, what constitutes being gay?
It means, so in my opinion, is when you have that, and I ain't never been that way, but I guess when you have that same attraction that you would for a man that you have for the same gender. I mean, that's just what it is. But when it comes to Diddy, it's a whole different reason why he do what he do.
But
It
he
has
has an
nothing.
attraction for men because, I mean, if you
Am
listen
I
to the testimony of,
am I missing it?
if
Am I
you,
saying, am I not being clear? I'm
no, you're not
okay, go
being
ahead.
clear to me.
Okay.
Well, if you listen to the testimony of all of those guys who
Mm-hmm.
had encounters with him and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they were the ones who had said that he came upon them. So if that's not an attraction, then what is it then?
That's not what I said.
Okay, so
Can I help? Can I
please
help on
clarify.
this one, Lady Janice?
Yeah,
What
absolutely.
she's what she is saying, Edward, is that it is not up for him. Yes, obviously he's having sex with men and women. So I get what you're saying in a
Mm-hmm.
technical sense. We say if we have sex with our same gender, then we're gay. I get that.
Right.
You're absolutely correct. That is the basic definition. But for
Mm-hmm.
him, being in a power position that he is in, what she is saying is that this is bigger than being with the same sex. It's about the control. It's about the power.
Exactly.
It's about me as a man belittling you as a man and making you bow down to me to do what I say, to take this, do this, whatever,
Yep.
and do what I say. It's bigger than just two gay people who minding their business and just happen to be attracted to their
Yeah.
same sex.
Exactly.
That's not that a gay relationship is not about that. But for him, In his demonic spirit, it's about dominance. It's about power. It's about sitting up there and having you. What better conquest? Because as a man, technically, he is supposed to be the head of our table if we're going on the biblical sense, and he is supposed to be the leader of our house. So for you to take me down as a woman, as a man, that's nothing for me. But if I'm demonic, I'm going to get at another man and I'm going to have him bow down to me. As a man, and I got you. I got you, and you're doing what I say do. That's why they were saying.
Can I ask a question?
Right.
Isn't that demonic for a person to be attracted to of the same sex?
I mean, if we're going by the biblical sense, then absolutely, right? That's what the word teaches us, that is definitely not of the Bible. I'm not here to judge anybody and their sexual preference, because what I do know, as I stated very early on, I'm not here to forgive him, because I got to answer to God for who I am and what I've done my damn self. So I can't worry about Diddy. But at the end of the day, for him, I think what Lady Janice is trying to just elaborate on, this is not just as simple as him, in this case, having sex with men, being gay. Is he committing gay acts? You're absolutely correct, Edward. That is what it is. But it's a different reason why he's doing it versus a gay couple who's just attracted to their same sex.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but then, my thing is that I have seen a lot of the different things that play out into my family's relationships and stuff when they came down to their mates and whatnot. So you said that it's a power struggle with Diddy, but in the things
that engaged in relationships with these men, he's engaged in relations, which is a big difference.
That's the difference. Absolutely,
it's a big difference.
Yep.
Having a one-night stand is having relations with somebody. Having sex with the same partner or partners, whatever you're into, that's a relationship. Right now, all he's doing is asserting dominance. That's why he was calling in different people. And he has some people that were frequent flyers, right? Or whatever have you. But at the end of the day, he was not engaged in a relationship with these people. They were not his mate. The only mate that he had was Cassie. That was his mate. And he brought people in to do what they did to her. And he got off on that. He got off on engaging himself in certain nefarious acts with men. Those were relations. They were not in relationship. He wasn't taking them nowhere, whatever. He bought a service. They produced the service. He paid for the service. And you're off and you're on. But she stayed because that was his relationship. As sick as it may be to some of us, that's what it was. But at the end of the day, he was not in a relationship with these men. He was in relations with these men. And a lot of them said he sat back and was getting his jollies off of watching what they were doing to her.
Cassie,
so he really wasn't a participator. He was a dominant. This is what y'all are going to do. Do this to her. Do that to put this in her. That's dominance. That's a demonic spirit. That's not.
Okay, so what we all can agree upon is that.
Go ahead.
Did he drop?
No, he's still here.
Or whatever, it's all demonic.
We lost you. We lost you, Edward.
For a second. Can you start from the beginning?
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm walking into the house. I'm connecting to my Wi-Fi. So in essence, then, what we can all agree upon is that it's all demonic, right?
For sure. Everything what Diddy did, 100%.
Yes.
Okay.
We can all agree.
We can all agree on that. See? Now, even though we disagree with a lot, we all can agree upon something. That's beautiful.
100%.
We would love to have you back.
Always that way at work.
Listen,
let me appreciate a male perspective because we're not men, and nor are any of us trying to be. So that's why I kept saying, I wanted to reiterate, we're passionate about our own opinions, but I respect the fact that you have a different viewpoint because we definitely we sit back and we do try to look at it from another perspective. So I'm glad you're not on the plain or the same page as all of us. And really, we're not even really all on the same page. We're
Right.
just agreeing pretty much as far as the ladies, we're standing by Cassie. Now, some of us will say, like I said, me personally, no, I don't. I really, I don't think he should have got any time for this, because this, to me, those charges that they got him on, that's not what the issue is for me with him. So I think this is all BS. That's why I told you I agree with where you started in the beginning. But as far as Cassie, I'm going to make an exception to the rule, because in her case, he got her at a very young age. And all I know is that as mature as I am and as focused as I am, as a 52-year-old, my mindset, hell, at 32 was way different than it was at 18, at 19, at 20. And like I said, I'm just grateful because I come from the era where social media was not out there, because Lord knows my mama and daddy would have smacked the taste out of my mouth, and I don't blame them. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I get to pretend that didn't happen and it wasn't me.
I also want to throw in.
Go ahead, Vicky.
No, when you guys were talking about him like taking advantage of men, like, or kind of dominant.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of there are some men out there. Even we have talked about this. Well, not just that, but like there are men who I personally think that I've always thought that and this is just my thought. Like, I don't think men can be bi. I just don't. I think that you're either or, and that could be why he has trouble performing. And that could be why like he likes the voyeurism of it. He does like the dominance. He likes the control. He likes the emasculation. And a lot of men some like gay men like to get off. They get off on turning straight men out. They get off on that like that whole aspect of it, and it goes back to the domination. So he just has a soul that is, he has to have, it's like world domination. He has that like a tyrant soul. Like he is a tyrant. We have seen him on what was that TV show he had where he was the making the band. We've seen him go nuts there. You've seen him just in clips where he thinks it was cute to sit there and scream and holler at his staff. We heard the testimony of Mia. You heard the testimony of Cassie. You heard the testimony. Well, I don't know about Little Miss S Worker.
Capricorn.
Oh yeah, Capricorn.
Miss S Worker.
I think we can all agree we ain't.
Little
Miss Little Miss that tickled me. LadyTeaBug, you was wrong for that.
That's what 50 Cent called her.
He did.
But in essence, is Diddy really a bad person?
Yes.
He is?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, from the video that I had saw that they had played in court today, it showed that he's a wonderful father. He took care of his children.
Is he
Okay,
really?
so can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I just got a question. What do you call a good father? I just want to know, what do you call a good father? Because, and let me say this right here. If I am going to court for my father and I want him out, right? I could tell the judge that he got angel wings and a halo over his head. I could tell the judge anything. Does that make it true? No.
Well, I mean, from my perspective, that his kids didn't turn out to be all bad. They seem to be highly respectful kids who, got some things going for themselves.
No, they don't. None of them are. None of them are doing anything.
No, there was a girl that was on Facebook, TikTok, that was just saying that about Justin Combs and how he walked up to her.
Didn't Justin catch a case?
Not Justin, Quincy. Yes, and the youngest boy that looked just like Diddy, Sean, he looked just like him. Christian
has something going on.
Same SA case. Yes,
that's the only son that's his, if you ask me. But
I agree.
But you can't give these heifers an inch.
Listen, the rest of those kids ain't. But the twins, but I don't think he's a good dad. Because you give money and you provide a home for your kids.
Exactly.
What else are you nurturing them?
Yep.
Or are you leading them into the hell pits?
Not to me,
And
because the oldest son is about to be 30. Like, what is he doing? You
mm-hmm,
know, I get your
That's
dad
Wolf's
has the
son.
money, but
mm-hmm. That's
what
Wolf's
are you
son.
doing? We was playing
Well, see,
Justin
you
is
do.
football.
32, Lady T-Bug. He was born in
Oh,
93. He
baby,
be
see, I
32
was
this
trying to get
December.
him a few years
I
off.
got
He's
you. Nope.
32. He was at UCLA. He couldn't get along. He was having issues there with the football team. Diddy came up there and jacked the man up.
Yeah, he
And
All
did.
beat the
there.
man with a kettlebell.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
The
32.
coach.
Well,
What we gonna be doing at 32 as a man with resources?
but you do remember that I don't watch Hollywood, so I don't know all of the ins and out as to what
Yeah,
has transpired in things. I've only can
And
just go by the
got you.
few little things that I have heard or seen.
Okay.
And I would like,
let us not forget that he is also implicated in Kim's unaliving, his
yeah.
kid's mother, her unaliving. He is
But
implicated big time in that unaliving.
but can we prove that though?
No.
He done took out all
Everybody's
the
dead.
people. He done
Everybody's
took all
dead.
the people. He done took them out.
Listen,
And this is the thing, like with me, I mean, some things that it ain't rocket science. I mean, you
yeah.
just connect the dots and bam, there it is. It just,
Elwood is logical. So if
I
And,
see.
he
well, see,
black and white, he want
Yep,
to know
He's
yes or
very
no.
balanced.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right
Yes,
now, his
very.
Libra scales are balanced, but me and Vicky, we all over the place because we Libras with you, Edward, but
yeah,
we
we're
ain't balanced today. My
Edward.
scales is tipping. Shoot.
Yeah, Edward. Generally, I'm the 12th, and I can be very like black and white, but I will go in those gray areas in a minute. And I'm just saying, yeah, I've looked at quite a bit of the information that is out there. He's not a good person.
No,
And I'm
not at
looking,
all.
just from what he has intently displayed to us. He has shown himself, and even just reading this letter to the judge, it is me, 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 me. Jail sucks. Me, 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 me. I'm broken. I've been sober since I came to jail. Well, no, no, no shit. Okay, you've been sober since you went to jail. Cause most crackheads are sober. You get sober when they go to jail.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you have to be, and I'm a I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for almost 10 years.
Yay.
Blessings,
If
blessings.
Thank you. If you have to be forced to get sober, usually the urge has not left you. Just like the urge
Okay.
has not left you. He's an addict. He's addicted to several different things. He's addicted to these kinky things. He's addicted to his substances, whatever that pink stuff and whatever else he was on. He got used to it. His brain was wired to it. He's just trying to rewire his brain. Now it's only been a year. It takes a lot of time, and he's an older man, so you don't know what's happened to him, um, using all those weird things that he was using. He's only like what that just the sober claim. You're sober because you're forced to be. As soon as he gets to the feds, he has access to everything he wants. I'm telling you,
It,
he's gonna get right back on it.
hmm And also, I wanted to say, and it's just kind of like Diddy kind of reminds me of the same thing scenario with R. Kelly. When R. Kelly's brother, I believe he was talking about R.
Bruce.
Kelly.
Bruce.
Yes, yeah, and he had stated that when they were little, their sister is the one that essayed them, right, molested them when they were kids, and he said that he was upset about it, but it actually ignited something in R. Kelly that actually
Exactly.
it became a beast that wanted to eat. That's
Exactly.
exactly what it had. And this is what you see with Diddy. Now Sonya has an infatuation with her daddy, and it's unhealthy.
I think so.
But when you look at Diddy and his mom, they're on a whole nother level
I
of
think
their
he used to watch his mama.
something happened and it's not good. I'm telling you, I see straight through her and I see straight through him, and he's trying to mask it as he's traumatized by what his daddy dying. Come on now, you was a kid, you wouldn't have no recollection of how your father, what you just stop it, stop the cap. I ain't going for that.
Edward,
Your
I would like.
mom is the one that caused you all of this trauma, and because of your infatuation with her, you refuse to acknowledge that is what caused you to be demonic. He don't want to acknowledge that or admit it.
Edward, I like to
Mhm.
ask you as a man, if you're in your, let's say your 40s or 50s and your mom is 60, 70, whatever,
Ugh,
do you still kiss your mother on the
I
lips?
knew you was finna ask that.
No, I never kissed my mom on the lips. I've always had
Okay.
the respect to kiss her on the cheek or on the forehead or something,
Okay.
but never on the lips.
Mhm.
Well,
So to
but I mean, if that's what he does, you know, I mean, who am
okay.
I to say that that's wrong?
Edward,
Because if that's how,
he he told the live that my mama is looking for a man. She can still bend over and she
Uh,
can still
Do
do
a split.
uh
maybe she can. I mean,
She
more
can.
power to her.
it's
She
not
You
can.
know,
She
that's
did
I'm
not
gonna
it.
be honest.
something that a
At
I
son
52,
mean,
Lady Denise, I
hey,
can too. But I'm just saying that's just me.
hey,
That's
if
just
she can
me
It
do
was
being
that,
say
then
it
more
ain't no
power
mama.
to her. Hey,
If my
if
I
mama,
ain't mad
if
at her.
it was
if
say that
my
ain't my damn mama. I ain't
yeah
I mean,
because you're a
hey,
man with morals, right? We probably could swing off some ceiling fans, but who I don't want my
Yeah, but that ain't
nephews to talking.
conversations I've had with my son, and he'll be 26.
Exactly. This
Yeah,
is
I
what
mean,
I'm
that
talking
hey,
about.
we don't
Exactly.
have that
the
level.
way
Exactly. No,
the
we don't
way
talk.
that I
No.
was raised is different than the way Diddy was raised,
Yeah,
and
that's
I
true.
can't
Obviously,
sit
yeah.
here and I can't sit here and vilify the man for the way that he was raised. So if his mama can do a split and do things like that and stuff, more power to that woman. You know,
No, you missing the point. It ain't what she can do. It's him telling the world that what she can do sexually. That is not cool. That's not
okay,
normal.
okay, but all right, I totally agree. It's not normal. It's not cool. But what can I do? That's him and his
Nothing.
mom.
No,
That is
no,
just
there's
the way
nothing
that.
you can do.
I
It was
need to
never
know as far as the
presented.
kiss y'all were talking about. I've never seen him do that. What do you mean, like? Because I've kissed
In the
my son
mouth.
on the mouth, but I have kissed my son on the
Oh no,
mouth.
not no.
Are they lingering?
Mm-mm,
Are they
mm-mm.
lingering?
Yeah, it was a little long. It wasn't no
It,
you know how like
Okay,
you can just kick your son, grab him by the face and say, "Mwah."
yeah,
You know,
right.
something. No,
Oh, it
no,
wasn't that.
all right, so
Okay,
so
no.
so
because
so
I was about to say,
even
oh
even
damn, am I a pervert mom?
so
What's
Mm-mm.
happening right
Hey,
now?
pull it out.
Uh-uh.
even if it was 5 seconds, so if she kissed her son on the lips and it was for 5 seconds, would you guys have a difference in opinion as to why she was kissing her son on the lips?
It's
It's
not
the
about the kiss, it's how the
It's
kiss
the lingering, right?
was.
yeah,
Okay,
it's the
It
It
was
was
not
awkward. It was
it
Well, no, you
uncomfortable
was.
for
okay. So
people
now
to
you're
watch.
going back to my point. You said that it's the lingering. So I'm asking again, if it was even for 10 seconds and stuff. I mean, does that change the?
Time doesn't necessarily specify what kind of kiss it was. Time
right.
has nothing to do with, I mean, it does, but it don't. In
It
this particular case, because I can give you a passionate kiss in 1 second and I can give you a mwah kiss in 1 second. So it doesn't, time has nothing to do with it. It was the way that it transpired. It
it's the
just not,
package.
yeah, it
It's the
just,
whole package of how they, because they were doing IV treatments because they
Tanya
kind
B
of
said
had,
it lingered.
Okay.
yeah, they were doing
Okay, so now we're going to sit here and we're going to worry about how this man
We're
kissed his
not
mom
We're
again.
worried. This
not
is
Okay, can
worrying.
I
not
You
jump
were
in,
talking.
worrying.
Lady
This is a
T-Bug?
discussion.
Yes, you
We're
asked the
not
question
worried. This is
about
what we
is he a
do.
good person? And we're telling you the things that we have witnessed. It
Hello.
ain't got nothing to do with personal.
Okay,
We don't care.
Okay, Bank.
Lady
Well,
T-Bug, can I
okay,
jump in?
Yes,
okay.
come on, Bank.
Okay, I've been listening, and
hey
thank
bank.
goodness.
Hey,
Hey,
Bank.
everybody. And thank goodness I already took my
Hey,
blood pressure medication because I have, really honestly, this whole Diddy thing, I've just been listening to it through, the vlogs or post, just kind of peripheral. I haven't been following it because I already kind of made up my mind about this whole sick situation before he even got arrested, even before this was a case. I've not been a fan of his for a long time. And let me just say this before I get into what I really want to say. Is I remember, I think it's Justin, the oldest boy. I remember I was still I'm not maybe a few years younger than Diddy, but I remember when I think he had just had the twins with Kim, and Justin's mom was going to child support asking for an adjustment, more money to send them to private school, clothe them, based off of Diddy's income, something reasonable. That man didn't want to pay spit. And I remember thinking, I don't like him. I don't like him. And it's like, beside the music and all that, I've always had that opinion. I don't like him. Maybe it's the spirit thing. So this is what I want to say after listening to all of this, because we've been all over the place. When I first really, tuned in, because I had stepped away, Miss Boogie Down had just came up, and I appreciate that because I knew she had ties to the Diddy, to that Combs family. But we've been all over the place, and I'm really struggling to find out what is the argument here. I understand everybody's position except for one, and but that's not my point. Without rules and regulation and guardrails in the society, and I full disclosure for people who don't know, I do come from a law enforcement background, but I also come from a moral background, and that's how I was raised by my parents. And I wasn't raised in religion, but I know a lot of morals are based on religion. So I'm not going to try to get down in the weeds with the whole religious aspect of this. I do believe in good and bad in and all that good stuff, but it's a more of a moral thing. This country or this world has established social norms, and out of those social norms, they've created laws. And so these gray areas that are being thrown out for discussion, it's great. It's great for debate, but I'm not used to these kind of debates happening on LadyTeaBug's platform. There's a lot of give and take. There is a lot of disagreement and dissension, but there's an understanding that you do this in good faith. Everybody brings to the table something in good faith. So I think we're not even completing some of these arguments, and that's what's throwing me off about this whole Diddy thing. Because at the end of the day, he violated not just the laws of man, but the laws of the court. And whether this charge is legitimate or not, like you said, Miss Boogie Down, and to the gentleman, is it Edward? I didn't get into the legal aspect of it because honestly, I didn't care. I didn't care. I didn't care what happened to him. I mean, I want him to be locked up, if you get what I'm saying. So whether he was charged correctly or incorrectly, I don't have a dog in that fight. But there is there's laws, and there are things that even if like for example, this last thing we are debating about the kiss on the lips. Okay, in the big picture, social norms, no, that doesn't stack up. I don't care where you come from, and in the way that I even seen it, it's weird. At the very least, we can admit that it's weird, but for me, I guess I'm looking at the law and order side of this. I guess that's what I'm doing. And within that framework, these, if he like, I'll just say this one point, and I'm kind of like I said, I'm over the place. I should have wrote notes. Lady Janice kind of said it too, and coming from somebody who's not religious, I don't know the Bible. I don't. I've never read it, never been interested in reading it, to be quite honest. And I do appreciate the things that other people do relate about it and the things that they say. So even coming from my non-religious standpoint, the question in my head was always forgiveness is not mine to give, but is that person seeking forgiveness? And so that's the big component to me.
That's right, though.
So
That's right.
and that's just even a that's what I said. I'm not coming from a religious standpoint. I guess I'm coming from a moral standpoint, but I know that a lot of the morality is steeped in religious teaching. So I'm not gonna
Mhm.
knock it. I kind of feel like I'm more spiritual. But that at the end of the day is what I don't see. So no matter what the argument is, as to should the man be locked up or was, Cassie a victim, which I wholeheartedly believe she's one. And listen, I had a discussion with my almost 80-year-old mom because she kind of was thinking like, well, she went along with that. I said, you know what? This is one thing I learned in law enforcement. Somebody can give consent until they no longer give consent. Consent is not binding and everlasting. Okay, I might have been down. Let's just say I am in a relationship and I am into a poly relationship. The day I tell that poly relationship I don't want to do that anymore, they can't make me stay in that relationship. It becomes a crime. So for me, from a moral standpoint and from a legal standpoint, I can't wrap my head around any justification for Diddy's behavior. I can't. And that's just
Can
a
I say
personal
something
thing.
real
That's just
quick?
personal to me. I don't care if he's gay. I don't care if he kisses mom on the lips. I don't care about none of that. I care about the fact that this man went against the morals and standards of the world that I want to live in. and I can't
Okay, can I
abide
say
by it.
something real quick?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Edward.
Okay. Well, I agree to a certain degree of what you're saying, but I disagree when you're saying that we're arguing or we are having some type of of it's something else that you had said, but yeah, I just lost my train of thought. I don't think that we're arguing. It's no argument. It is just that everybody is sitting here and everybody is just expressing their personal opinion.
Well, let
Now,
me
my
stop you
I
right
opinion.
agree
there,
with that.
Edward. I'm sorry to cut
I
you off,
agree
but I
with that.
will. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been on Lady T-Bug's panel, and what I'm saying is, I use the word argument, or what do you want to call it, a debate or a discussion. But what I'm saying is that for me, and I'm talking about just for me, okay, I used to be a professional, I'm gonna say it, an arguer. And I realized that I wasn't doing a lot of listening. And what I was, and this has been over 15 years, but I decided to start doing more listening and understanding that it's okay, to not agree with somebody. So, there's things that a few of you may have said up here that I don't agree with, and that's okay with me. And I'm not gonna go to bat with it. But I just thought that for me, I like the discussion. I was really into some of the discussion, and then we kind of got off and went somewhere else. That's what I'm saying. It's like we never finished that. And I'm used to with Lady T-Bug that usually we deal with, we end one discussion or argument, and then we move to the next topic. That's what I was saying. So
Well,
this is
well,
kind of like all over the place for me.
I am truly sorry from my heart to bring chaos and confusion
Oh no,
to your
you have
channel.
not. You have not.
You know,
We were able to follow, and I think she may have left because I think she said that she left and came
No,
back.
I'm
But
following
she
the
said,
argument, Lady T. But what I'm just saying is that for me, and there's no disrespect to you, to if it came off that way to you or your panel. I'm just saying that for me, it was a little bit more chaotic because I'm used to or having discussions that are a little bit more just kind of I wouldn't say streamlined, but we kind of finished, we finished the argument. And then it's like, as soon as, I feel like, okay, well, okay, this is where we're going. That's just a personal thing for me. So that's
well,
why I
see,
was quiet for a long time because I didn't know where to jump in at because I'm like, okay, so what are we talking about now?
we're
That's
just
the
this,
only
talking
point I
this,
about
was making.
whatever whomever is speaking talking about. It was no Q&A, like whatever the conversation led, we would talk about that, and then we will move to something else, and then somebody may have a question from there, and then we will go on. There's no format because normally I am presenting content, but I was just coming over here to ask how y'all felt. So
Oh, I get
it
that.
was
No,
it
no,
yeah,
I
it
get
was
that totally.
normally, yeah, I have content and I have, a different thing, but here it's just kind of like freestyle, and that's what I stated. That's why I said you were in and out. Because at the beginning of the live, I pretty much said we can go for, it'll be open and we can discuss whatever.
Oh no,
I mean,
I get that.
I'm,
That's
I'm,
I
I'm,
I
I'm
get that.
loving it. I'm loving it because you ladies, you guys come from a different background and things, and all of your experiences combined and stuff is really fascinating to me and things. I run a live myself. I talk about the Kanika Jenkins case, and then
Okay.
I just decided that out of 8 plus years now, it's time for me to transition off that case and let me go ahead and just kind of touch bases
Right.
upon something different.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
decided to talk about Diddy. And when I talked about Diddy, I mean, I got so many subscribers and things. And then I just happened to be scrolling through the channels and stuff. And this is where I came over Ladybug's channel and stuff. And I was
Yeah. On
sitting
the
back
front
listening to
porch.
you guys. And I was like, oh my God. I said, Lord Jesus, this is where I'm going to park my vehicle,
We
because
appreciate that because we do this all the time. So I get what you said. Go ahead, Elwa. Let me let you keep talking. I'll cut you
The,
I
off.
the
mean,
re-
I
I'm
love
sorry.
the sparring. I love the jousting. I love the contentiousness. because it is absolutely wonderful. It literally brings the best out of people. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm not one that gets into my feelings and whatnot. I tend to get a little aggressive because, I tend to get a little crazy when I'm talking and whatnot, tend to get a little loud and obnoxious and stuff, but I'm always knowing what I'm saying. I know how far to take it before it ever goes overboard. But see, in my experience with a lot of YouTubers, they're not used to me because me, I look at things in a different light. I hear what you say, but I've always looked at the silver lining. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes I purposely may just disagree with you just to see how far or what you're going to say. And if you can educate me upon something that I don't even already know, or then sometimes I may challenge the status quo and, put it out there just the way that it is and whatnot. But I'm telling you, I'm loving this. I have been talking up on the internet for the past 10 years from Facebook, then came to YouTube. And when I came to YouTube, I really couldn't find nobody who I can really joust with. Somebody who I can really have a good, wholesome conversation with and really get it to this degree that we're talking right now without the people really just going overboard and getting all into their feelings and cussing me out because I don't understand what they're saying or I don't agree or, don't
place there.
this and that and the other.
And you will love to hear because Lady T-Bug is that chick, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up here, but she always, and we can get really down and dirty, and it's just like, I don't believe with you and I don't agree with you, and then the next day it's just on and popping again. And that's what it is. The problem is we all have our opinions or whatever, but when we don't respect the fact that people don't think the way we think, that's when you find the problems on these YouTube streets, because everything is all fine and dandy, and it's just like a relationship. When you want to know if you got the right partner, tell them no. Because see, when I'm being told yes, I'm giving you my best, but now you're telling me no, I can't do this, or no, I can't have this. Now you're gonna see the genuine person, and that's what she is. She's genuine to a flaw with her channel and her differences of opinion. And like she said, 90% of the time we really don't agree with each other. That's what makes it fun over here. But everybody respects each other enough to hear the opinion. And personally, again, this is Miss Boogie Down. I hope to see you over here again, Edward.
I'm about to go find his channel.
That's what I'm going to say. What is his channel?
We appreciate the difference of opinion. And yes, you should be able to challenge, because again, Lady T-Bug will tell you, in the very beginning of this whole Diddy situation, I literally said, I'm promising you, people are not going to be satisfied, because in my opinion, my brother is in New York. He works for the feds. And I was hearing it from a personal perspective, and it looked like the feds really didn't have their stuff together. So when everybody was hanging on the fact of hoping that he was going to get this,
the commentators,
we always were saying, it was just like from the beginning, it was just like, it's not going to end right. It's not going to end the way people wanted to, because people were looking at their personal feelings toward him, and you had to look at what they proved as in the law, and you could tell they were all over the place, because you had people up there who basically were admitting to being willing participants. So now you do have to look at it. Well, what charges do they get? Oh no, they made a deal with the government, but yet you're not giving him one. And you do look at it and you can see some unfair stuff. Bank will tell you, we disagreed on another person's channel about that with the whole thing from the beginning. Yes. Because I literally said, in my opinion, what they're charging him for, I was like, I don't think he's not going to get. I was like, the way that this world works, it's not fair. And in her law expertise and former law enforcement expertise, she was just like, it's not right, but, and I was just like, no, on my end, see, there is no but. It should be it should be blah, blah, blah. But again, we still love each other and still ride for each other and support each other, because you got to be able to know that you're not in this world alone. And therefore, I don't need a yes man around me. I don't need a yes
You
woman
don't need to
around me.
be
Like,
like Diddy.
I don't need
Right.
that, because
Well,
I need to be able
And
to be open, right?
yeah,
And hear a
again,
difference of opinion. Because if I'm not, I can't grow as a person if I'm just set in my ways and
w-
my ways only.
and
right.
real
Well,
quick, let me
again,
Edward, can I say this?
uh,
Because if you can put it, if a Lady T-Bug is okay with it, I would love to know your channel if you want to share. Um, but
okay. Well,
also,
I need to get permission from Miss Lady.
yeah, that's why I just said that, if that's okay. But also new blood. I mean, sometimes it becomes, I won't say an echo chamber, because one thing that Lady T-Bug is good about is trying to be, I wouldn't say like fair and balanced. Well, I guess I could say that. This is the place where opinions and thoughts come to thrive and not die. And she would tell you, we've been in other places where you can't have an opinion. You'll get blocked.
Oh
That's
no,
pretty much
no.
where Eric was going there. Like, you better have the same opinion or you gotta go.
Yeah, and so it's refreshing to hear, because one thing he keyed on, that kind of brought me full circle, and what I was saying earlier, Lady T, but nothing against your panel, and I know you know how to run a panel. I was saying that's why I was silent, because I don't know if you know how long I've been up here, but I didn't know, like, okay, when do I want to jump in, and that's a me thing, not a you all thing, and that's why I was saying about the style. I'm like, okay, I need to get in where I fit in, but
Because
fresh,
normally
but
I
a
let
fresh,
one person talk, and I know what you meant, and
yeah.
then we go. I know what you meant.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that fresh blood is always needed, and the one thing that you said, at word, that I did like, is that I think that's what you were alluding to, that even with certain topics, if you don't become an echo chamber for people to, you know what I mean, then it kind of gets away from you. You know, you
What's
got to make a decision, either to stand up, own your channel like Lady T-Bug does, and it sounds like you do the same thing, or you
Oh,
let
most
the
definitely.
audience, take over, where you, as the channel owner, has to tread lightly on what you say, and that's why I like it over here. She ain't afraid to correct anybody. I keep telling her she the principal over here. And so she
Well,
get her
see,
ruler out, start smacking knuckles. But no, not to take away from your questions or anything like that. I just, like I said, I just felt like, for me, not, and I maybe it felt like I was picking on you, but I just felt like, okay, well, are we looking at this from a theological standpoint or for a law standpoint? And I kind of shake it down around our girl Shan. She's not here tonight, because I think of it more from a law standpoint. Because I'll be honest with you, this stuff is deep, it's dark, and for you to even do it on your channel, Edward, it's courageous, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's very dark to me.
well, see, and this is my point. Everybody comes with a different flavor. You
Yeah.
know, I may like grape, you may like cherry, she may like orange, and somebody may like apple and things. But when you mix it all together, it's a cocktail. And however you mix it, it's still a cocktail. And it's still good when it goes down. So I'm not one that has a hollow heart. I can stand with the strongest, and I can, be down with the weakest and things and stuff. My thing is big upon respect. I've always preached that upon my channel. You can come and you can spill your guts, say whatever you need to say or whatever and things and stuff, but then come with some respect.
Right.
Come with some respect for me as a channel holder, and then as the people who's on the panel, and then the people who's in the chat. And when you do that, then we can have a good, wholesome, cohesive debate, or however you may want to put it in things. You can say whatever you want to say, but that's fine. But just make sure that you are respectful to other
No
person's
ass
opinion.
homonyms. Yeah, and that's one thing we don't do here. We don't we attack the argument and not the person.
Right.
Correct. So don't think that you guys are belittling me, or making me feel some type of way and things. I get it. I love it. I mean,
Well, I am in the South, and hospitality is like big here. Okay, so I don't be wanting to, bring nobody on my panel. And sometimes people think because we are doing what we doing here, I had somebody come up and they felt the tag and they dropped down. I'm like, no, this is what we do. You can say what you want to say, but whatever. But I appreciate you, Edward. And
Yeah.
while I'm
I do
talking,
too.
y'all get y'all last thoughts together because I was only gonna be on here an hour.
George
Oh my
Dan.
God, we need to
George
continue
Dan.
the
I,
conversation. I'm having too much fun right now. You can't
We gotta
abandon me
come
now.
back, Edward. Oh, and what's your channel? Let me look for it. Why? So I could drop the link.
Okay, it's at Edward Joseph 1985. And you'll
19.
see the same. Well, I don't know. I think I got my Kanika Jenkins picture up, but you'll see my picture up.
Okay.
and real quick, I am I guess maybe I'll watch some of that because of course early on with the Kanika Jenkins, I'm not trying to change the subject, but it's very fascinating to me that how that story is still growing legs. It's very interesting to me. So I will definitely check out your channel, and I've been looking for some new content because unfortunately the Nesto stuff. I need that man to go to court, LadyTeaBug. I need that man to go to court because it's about that time. So that's
Edward,
where.
if you want a
Mhm.
new case, and I, my apologies, Bank, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
no,
off,
go
but if
ahead.
you want a
Come
case
on.
like Bank, we kind of discussed ad nauseum another case. It's more about like financial crimes. I don't know if you're familiar with Shirley Strawberry, the Steve Harvey morning show co-host.
No.
Her ex-husband is on. He's up for a big giant RICO, and it's a very interesting, like multi-layered case. So we've been following that because there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of layers to it. We've had access to his phone calls, his text messages, and video visits in jail, and he's pretty much told on himself at the whole time in jail. But that's a great case if you're interested in it.
Yeah, I'll definitely, come and piggyback upon that of what you guys have and things. We can collaborate upon things and whatnot because I've literally been wanting to do something different. I've been doing
Okay.
Kanika Jenkins for the past 8 years, and that's pretty much what my audience love is Kanika, Kanika, Kanika. And I'm kind
Hmm.
of tired of Kanika, but yet they love it so much. And so, I continue to keep playing my my lives back over and over and over again, and everybody still just loves that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely would
So
love
let me go
to.
ahead and jump in with my last thoughts, and it will be about Diddy. Okay.
Yes.
It's this is not. I know the discussion is not over. We'll probably there's something else that's going to drop, but I'm going to leave my last thought. I don't want to make it a question, but I guess this is an open ended question. Even after he serves this time, I'm wondering if there's other people that are going to get brave during this time and decide to put their own, you know, information out there that he could possibly. Basically, we got more years behind us than we have in front of us, and I'm starting to get the feeling that this man is going to be in litigation probably until he goes to answer to his maker. This is a sad story to me. There's no winners. I pray in the holistic sense for peace for Cassie, because when I just think about what she possibly has to deal with, I mean everything looks good, but I'm pretty sure there are moments. I'm pretty sure there are moments, and I just wonder, you know, like how do you come back from something like this? And then and is it ever going to be really anything that's going to give her comfort, even with him doing this time based off of the charges that were in front of him? So I think that this is a tale, it's a cautionary tale. It ranks up there, of course, like with the R. Kellys, and we know that there's the Bill Cosbys. We know that there's the man sitting in the office. There's a lot of we have a history, well documented history throughout time of these personality types. And it's just
Okay.
that I'm kind of glad that the laws are catching up with them, because all you can do is really we can only put out the fire once they get started. So that is my hope, that we keep moving forward as a society, that what we once thought was not necessarily okay, but we didn't have any recourse to address it. We can do it now. And to everybody on the panel, it was I can't lie. It was a very interesting discussion. If I can feel passionate about something, whether I agree or disagree with any of the points being made, and it can keep me riveted like it did, and in my opinion, LadyTeaBug is the perfect place to have this type of conversation. So I'd like to thank the host. I'd like to thank everyone on the panel. And
Yes, ma'am.
Edward, yeah, I want to check out your channel because I think that, for me, I'm ready to. This is like a staple channel for me, and I'm not saying that LadyTeaBug because I'm up here, that, but I'm ready to have grown adult conversations and being able to mix it up in a grown and adult way. Those are my final words.
Good night,
Excellent.
Bank.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Yes.
My last thoughts out, and I'll go because I know we have guests up here, so I'll go. As far as Diddy goes, it's not just Cassie, and I mean, Cassie kind of went. It seems like Cassie went through it probably the harshest because she was able to tell her full testimony from from beginning, pretty much beginning to end. But there are people who are not here who probably have a testimony, and I do, the charges that they came about that they could come up with. I guess they couldn't get him on other stuff, so they got him on this. And the jury, they presented enough to where the jury saw that he was guilty of it. So we have to remember that he was, the jury found him guilty. It wasn't, he didn't have. It's not the court of public opinion. This was a jury. So I don't think he's a changed man. I think it's going to be hard for him to change, even though it's been a year and a month or so that he's been in jail. I I just don't think that he's gonna change. Just it's gonna take some time for him to change. If he does change, well, God bless him. That's great for him. But on the real, the man has been famous and rich for a long time. He's done a lot of things, and for people like that, it does take a lot of humbling. And going to the feds may not be the thing that changes something. But we're gonna see when he gets out. We're gonna see. I just think one thing that shows me that he hasn't changed. He was getting ready to do the do the wild thing just before he got locked up. He was and then he was planning like parties and whatnot because they just knew he was getting out. So that they just knew that he was going to get out, and he had like bookings and meetings already set up. So anyway, good night, everybody on the panel. Lady T
Yes,
Bug,
ma'am.
who was up here? Lady Janice, Bank, Edward, Don't Be a Stranger,
Yeah,
Miss Boogie Down. Everybody
absolutely.
have a great evening, and everybody in the chat have a great evening. I hope to talk to y'all this weekend.
You too, Vic to the Veil.
Yep.
I just want to say my last thoughts was thank you, Edward. This was definitely refreshing. I personally did not follow the Diddy
Oh,
situation because I see his phone went out. Yeah, I personally did not follow the Diddy situation because this to me was just I didn't feel like it was enough, and I knew he was barely gonna get anything. He got a little bit more than what I thought he would get. I'll be honest, but at the end of the day, it's really just sad that the society that we're in, where it's really money talks and everything else walks, and it's hard to try to teach your kids or even just try to be reminded yourself of a moral compass when we live in just such an unjust, immoral country. This country is ruled by money. This man was able to have 7 attorneys, and even with all of that, y'all still didn't really get him on the charges that you should have gotten him on. And it just makes, sometimes as a woman, and a woman of color, it makes me feel a little bit hopeless. But at the end of the day, I do serve a mighty God, and I know that this is bigger than any of us here. And I just hope and pray that there is a just society where he does learn from this. I don't think personally he will, but again, that's my opinion. I just think right now he's just going to do whatever he can to shorten his sentence, buy his time, do what little bit of time he can do, and then get the heck up on out of there. And I don't think he is going to be a changed man. This man is 55. He will be 56 in November. And at the end of the day, Yeah, I think he's pretty set in who he is. Now, can he get saved and be off of drugs forever? Yeah, absolutely, if that's what he chooses to do. But he still at the end of the day is just as human as any of the rest of us. And when you, like a child, grow up and you are just not held accountable for anything, it's hard to now really accept your place and your role when you always have these supporters around and these cast of characters around you that are yes men and yes women who are not telling you that you're just outright wrong. And when you can buy your way out of things, I can't even fully be mad at him. I can be disgusted, but I can't even fully be mad at the man because he has been able to get out and do what he does, because we as a society are wasting too much time on holding these people and their celebrities on statuses that they shouldn't be held up on. We need to be celebrating more of people coming out of college or people getting their degrees and stuff like that, instead of still being in a society where, you know, we're celebrating somebody that did a 10-year bid and he's home, and that's what we're focused on, let alone the young lady or the young man that got their damn master's degree against all odds, and we're not throwing enough celebrations for them. So in conclusion, always, it's a pleasure being on this panel with you, Lady T-Bug, and thank you for just always allowing us to have a difference of opinion where you don't take it personal, but you allow everybody to say their piece. And as grown-ups, it is a wonderful chat. It is a wonderful community to be over here because we can still respect one another's views, even if we don't share them and agree with them. Again, Edward, hope to see you again back on this panel. I'm definitely going to check out your
I'm gonna have to
page.
hunt him down.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's in the chat, though. I see him in the chat, but definitely going to look for your page and everything. And thank you for just even the challenging different perspectives. You know, we got to be bold enough to talk about the things that we don't like to talk about as well, and the uncomfortable viewpoints, because whether it was your viewpoint or not, at the end of the day, it needs to be discussed because somebody out there thinks that way. As always, Lady T-Bug, chat is always a pleasure
Okay,
being up
Miss
here.
Boogie, now before you drop, you got to come
Yes.
back now.
Okay.
Because I want to know what you think about them folks discussing the house, the money, and all that. But I
Yo,
ain't gonna get you
you know,
worked up tonight.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I know you got something to say, and I'm still waiting to hear from you. That's all I wanted to say.
I got you. When are you going live again? When are
I'll
you
be
going
back
live?
tomorrow because I'm gonna be
Okay.
taking my hair out. So I'm gonna be
Okay.
home because I can't go nowhere looking like a bald head chicken head.
Yeah, I'm calming down. I had a wonderful New York City reunion, so to speak, back home, seeing my folks and my kid and all that other good stuff. Had a really good time. But yeah, I'm gonna take this weekend and I'm just gonna chill out, get ready back to be on the slave ship next week. So I'm definitely looking forward for you to
Yeah,
put it
I'll
up,
be live
and
tomorrow.
I'll be there. Okie dokie. Love you
Okay.
guys. Love you, Lady T-Bug. Have a
All
good
right. Thank
one.
you, Miss Boogie
All
Down.
right. You got it.
All right, let me get y'all last thoughts from this chat and we're gonna wrap it up. I'll be back tomorrow with It's All About Me, number 2, Nesto. Okay. Okay, Edward got his last thoughts in the chat. Edward and Lady Janice phones went out on them, so they had to drop down to the chat. My last thoughts is my sincere prayers that all parties are able to get beyond this of what happened to them. We all have sinned. Yes, I'm a sinner and come short of the glory of God. I pray they can find forgiveness in their hearts. Blessings to you all. Thank you again, Edward. Please don't be a stranger. I dropped the link to his channel in the chat multiple times. He's also gotten permission to restream this on his channel. And you got to come back, Edward, so we can introduce you to Nesto. Please and thank you, because we used to have men over here all the time, but they left us. So we have a new gentleman over here that we can get a man's perspective. We love that. Okay. I'm late. I hope he changes, but don't think he will. He may not abuse women, but being hot tempered, substance abuse, and them paid to pay will probably continue. I think so. It really is. Forgive. Okay, I read that in order. Thank you. Yep, Bible study touches in that. We have to bold and talk to people that think differently from us. Right. And that's honestly how I've learned a lot of things, because again, adulthood did not come with a booklet, you know what I mean? A to-do booklet, 101 how to adult, at the age of 18. So that's why I could sympathize with, ladies that, are naive, that may be easily led, because if you don't know no better, you can't do no better. But unfortunately for me, I learned quick, baby. And I was able to maneuver, through life to where I am now. But it was them a lot of trial and error, okay? Evil will always be if the righteous say nothing. Love you all. Okay, what time will be on? Tomorrow. I like to come on around this time, but since I'll be stuck in the house, I may come early. But to keep it consistent, I may try 6 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock. And I'm in Florida, okay, Eastern Standard. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. We finna bring him into Nestoville for shizzle. Yeah, okay. Miss Boogie Down, he said he love and look forward to having more conversations with you. We got one more Edward Charles. Shan. Oh Lord. Thank you, Juju D. I don't think Diddy would change, especially if he doesn't think that he did anything wrong. And maybe we'll say he'll be in there 2.5 years. He got time. He got time, to look back, reflect, and make a plan for himself and make some tough decisions for when he get out. Baby, he got time. Thank you, Real, for subscribing. I have a class reading. I will be attending tomorrow, so I will be in around 5 p.m. my time. Okay, okay. Oh, Houston Foodie, hey, I forgot. I read your comment, but I don't think I said hello. We got a lot of meat on the bones of Nesto, baby. Freedom is coming. Jail calls, just texting messages and all. All right, y'all. I really appreciate y'all, because I was really just coming on here to cut up. Y'all know how I put my twist, my humor, my jokes, and all those things into it. The commentary. That was all I was coming to do. But apparently the good Lord had something else in plan for me, kept me here, past the time that I thought I was gonna be on here. But I enjoyed the conversations. I appreciate each and everybody that contributes to the front porch, in the bushes, in the chat, on the panel, members, mods, everybody. Okay. And y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I keep it coming. And we do try to have a good time. We do have our passionate moments, but baby, the next day we besties. We back on the damn porch, enjoying it. The link has been dropped in the chat about 4 or 5 times. Scroll up a little bit and you'll see it. Also, I reposted it on my community wall. Lady Janice said I was not ready. Now I don't, girl. In there, tell her what's gonna come out my mouth. But I actually got that from 50 Cent. Okay, I gotta roll it back. My baby sleep. All right, Jay Blake. Sure. We were it was a time, okay, and I did appreciate it, because that's a part of being an adult too, being able to have conversations. I do it all the time in the workplace. This is just a different format. I have, in the workplace, I got a code switch, but on here, I don't. But it's the same concept, All right, y'all, I'm out. Who gonna take us out? I don't think I got nobody. Oh, let me let another celebrity, which I feel is a celebrity, take us out. Okay. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll set the live up earlier, okay, than I normally do. So y'all know when we coming back.
Because we're sick of this shit. Everybody is sick of this shit. The whole world is sick of this shit. I'm so sick of this shit. But I'm not gonna let it make me sick. And neither are you.
That's right. We sick of this shit, but we gonna get over it. We not gonna let it bring us down. Good night.